Millimeter, it be accurately measured. It's measured flat, direction up and down. Flat level we at, flight over ground. Descending from that breeze, heading in degrees. Horizontal, flat, EST. Now you know it's flat, below ground. Measured flat. You hearing me now?
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now, we are joined by Len, Surf Daddy, Neil, Click OK, and a whole bunch of people in Earth Awakening's Discord server, so welcome one and all.
There's no answer on that about the mod thing?
How are
you? Say
you?
he hasn't got mod powers.
Basketballs exist, therefore the globe.
Yeah, check out the pre-show if you want to hear our Ask a Friend tell us that because basketballs exist, we don't have linear miles, or Buck lie about radii being arc distances.
Yeah, so can I just try and make my point again? I just want to be clear that all I'm saying is that I've always believed that Nathan agrees that there's a linear relationship of 60 nautical miles per degree. I believe that. And when I tried to ask him, like just a simple yes, no, I agree or I don't agree, he wouldn't just say yes or no. He went on a bit of a speech. So that's all I'm trying to get. I just want to know if he agrees or disagrees.
What was my speech about?
You went on about flat Earth miles and radii bending, blah, blah, blah. All I want to know is, do you agree that there's there's a linear relationship between the distance to the GP and the elevation angle? It's really simple. I think it's 60 nautical miles per degree. When I do my cell nav, that's what I use.
Okay.
Do you agree?
I mean, I didn't repeat what I said back last time. Do you want me to repeat it for a fourth time?
No, I just want you to say you agree that there's a linear relationship or you don't agree. It's just, one or the other.
Okay, I just want you to give me £200 in your name. Can you give me £200 in your name? It's just, that's all I want.
I mean, you're here to discuss this. And if you're not going to answer a simple yes, no question.
I didn't give you an answer.
And you're trying to establish a parallel of demanding money being the same as asking a simple question.
Okay, fine.
That's silly.
Fine.
So if you don't want to answer the question, just say, I don't want to answer
I absolutely do.
I'll
give you an answer. Fine. We'll come to a conditional agreement. If you can accept how flat Earth is measured for an elevation angle from surface level, two straight lines meeting at a vertex, one being a baseline that meets the GP at 90 degrees, that's a flat Earth prerequisite for your question. Once you accept that Earth is measured flat for the degrees that you're asking about, I'll answer your question. So do you accept that the degrees we're measuring from Earth's flat surface level can only be measured 90 degrees to the GP if Earth's flat? Because if not, I won't answer your question.
Okay, may I answer that question? And then we'll go ahead to mine. So my answer is that when I've built devices used for measuring elevation angles, the baseline I use is the plane that's perpendicular to the downward vector, very similar to how a theodolite works. So the contour of the surface, when I measure an elevation angle, and anyone using a theodolite, it doesn't matter what the contour is. So it would work if the contour of the surface was flat or if it was curved, because we're simply taking the plane perpendicular to the downward vector. So I can't answer your question in the way you want me to answer it, because that, like I just said, that's how I measure an elevation angle.
So you just don't want to answer. You don't want to answer. So you just don't want to answer a simple yes or no question. This is what you've done to me, by the way. You just don't want to answer. Fine. He just doesn't want to answer, ladies and gentlemen. He just can't accept this diagrammatical example on screen from a celestial navigation manual that uses flat radii for ground positions at the end of the radii, 3 of them. Now, that's planar for ground positions. He suggested in his last response that they're tangential to a plane. No, they're ground positions on the ground. The plane must be the ground then. This plane is the ground. It's a radial value that we're deriving from this flat Earth elevation angle as depicted on screen. Further to this, Buck's just suggested that it doesn't matter about what this does. Like, it can bend. No, it can't bend. It's a radius. It's flat.
So the problem is that your question, you posed only 2 answers, yes or no, and it's a malformed question.
Say yesterday.
I tried to explain to you that.
Sorry, just
An
my
elevation
benefit.
angle.
So what's happening now is a little gimp has come in to help him. Yeah, a little limp Buck needs a little helper, and that's what you're hearing in the background, ladies and gentlemen, so you know why there's audio chaos.
It's not audio chaos. It's just a clarifying question.
Oh.
Yesterday, you did say that there is a relationship between an angle.
I just addressed my audience again. I'm now talking to a cuck who's doing it on behalf of another man. Just so we are all clear what's happening, I'm talking to somebody else.
Is that true, Nathan?
Yeah, you said that yesterday.
Oh, so you agree that there's that's good to know, because then I have to conclude that if you agree with that there's no geometric possibility that the Earth is flat.
It's on screen now for my audience.
I'm happy for you to show me how that could work.
Yeah, it's on screen for my audience now. It's flat. Radii 1, radii 2, and radii 3. Oh, you don't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it, and his cuck doesn't want to hear it either. His cuck needs to interrupt now.
We need to be clear, Nathan.
You guys let me know when you're all tuckered out. You guys let me know when you're all tuckered out, and I'll just readdress the audience with this radial value on screen that absolutely annihilates. We need 2 people to cause audio chaos while I point out to you, my audience, this on screen now. This is a flat Earth, unequivocally straight line to GPs with radial values.
This is just for your YouTube audience.
That's correct, just for my audience. The cuck that's suggesting that he can mute me and then project that I'm only going to speak to you while they try and mute this information with 2 people talking at once. Audio chaos. A cuck operating on behalf of a limp dick called Buck. That's right. Just for my audience, here's the bit that annihilates the need for a cuck to come and start causing audio chaos, so you don't hear me explain this diagrammatical example that requires unequivocally Earth be flat for GPs with straight radii to their position along Earth's surface for navigation. Yes, just for my audience. That's right. You get to hear this while they cause audio chaos.
So I'd like to ask,
That's just third dude now. Are we done with the other 2 cucks? Are we now talking to you, just so there's not audio chaos?
If the latitude, right? If the latitude was established by
I'm now talking to 3 people. You realise that, right? You want to sort that out amongst yourselves, Grepper?
I don't have a dog in the fight.
Do you want to just relinquish the other 2 guys, though? I'm just going to talk to you all. 2 other cucks start talking on your behalf.
I just want to try and set up the argument. Some ideas.
So I'm done with the other 2 guys. They're not going to talk through us as we have a reasonable discussion, you and I.
Well, I was just going to add this before I just mute.
So that's no.
Shut up. But if
so you will tolerate cucks interrupting this conversation, so it won't be reasonable that we have a back and forth. You're just going to move on and keep asking. Yeah, I can just shut down the conversation and communicate with my audience. On screen now for my audience, while 3 men try and obfuscate this flat Earth measurement fact. 3rd man won't say, yeah, I'll have a one-on-one with you. He's saying, no, I need 2 other men in this little debacle. So there's audio chaos as I point out how flat Earth's measured. You don't want to tell the other guys to shut up. You just want them to join in 3-on-1, right?
Well, I'm on the flat Earth side, but I don't actually really
don't care. You're the 3rd guy.
I'm
3rd guy.
I'm interested in the science. So if we look at the lines of latitude, they're established by historical sextant measurements, and we can confirm them with like an Eratosthenes type thing. I think. I participated in one, and it turned out to be accurate, but. If you were to think about it, so either these latitude degrees, measurements between the latitude lines are either not equally spaced, because and we've got to be able to confirm that somehow. How are we going to measure, the distances north to south, and how are we going to do it accurately over that distance.
We?
And without relying on
mean
current
we?
systems.
So what do you mean we?
And then secondly, if it is a flat Earth, can upward diffraction, simulate a similar thing?
I'm not going to be measuring anything. Latitude is a flat Earth measurement. It's an angle from surface level. It's an altitude angle. Like I've got diagrammatically exampled on screen. The last point didn't get concluded. Third guy, you now asks me about these flat Earth measurements for latitude. They're not my measurements, and I'm not going to be confirming anything. We aren't going to be doing anything. I don't know who you are. I've got a wife and 2 kids to look after. I make YouTube shows to pay the bills. I'm not going to go out and measure this system. It's already well established with flat Earth angles from surface level. I can diagrammatically example them with the little degree numbers wrapped around a glorified protractor. Some people think they're living on rather than in when they measure flat Earth surface levels for degrees. They're flat Earth surface levels. There's no if. At the end of your question, you were like, if Earth's flat. Now, you've measured it flat in degrees from surface level. They're called altitude angles. The same one 2 men decided to rumpus a minute ago with your arc radii and your nonsense waffle that ignores GPs and their flat radii from surface level for angles, to be angles.
What is a GP?
Ground position.
It's the ground position of a celestial object.
Guy number 2, you didn't concede that you didn't need cucks. Some cucks come on your behalf now, mate. He's now talking for you, just so you know.
Nobody has ever measured
Fourth
Earth.
guy.
The VC is open. I checked with the mods.
I mean, we can all pile on me at once when I point out how flat Earth's measured in linear radii for GPs.
Nobody's piling on you.
Well, you just talk through me then.
Nathan.
Fourth guy talking through me now as I speak. 4 of you needed against me, right? Okay.
You presuppose that the Earth is flat. There's no such
It's on
thing
screen
as a
now.
flat
Measurement. Angle. I haven't
Measurements
presupposed
aren't
anything. I
flat.
haven't appealed to this. She's lying. I haven't appealed to this.
Nathan?
I didn't just ask about elevation angles. Buck brought them up. The other guys confirmed them. This guy's also talking about them. I didn't do anything. She's just lying. Liar.
No, you presuppose that the Earth is flat.
I didn't measure
Claim
this.
that all measurements are flat. Measurements aren't flat, Nathan.
Okay. Elevation
They're
angles are
one-dimensional.
flat. Yes, they are.
No,
They're
that's
on screen
false.
now.
All measurements are one-dimensional. They're not flat. They're one-dimensional.
Okay. Well, then we wouldn't be able to acquire an angle.
Laser tests
So-
prove the surface is flat, in my opinion.
So 1.5 meters, is that flat or curved?
Yes, flat's a linear measurement. Meters are linear.
Linear just means along a line.
Linear
Lines
miles
are
or
curved.
meters aren't one-dimensional. You realise that? You just defeated
Can
your own
lines be
position.
curved?
That's not one-dimensional.
lines be curved?
You said this was one-dimensional.
Can
You're wrong. You said this was
All lines are
one-dimensional. You're wrong.
one-dimensional, Nathan. Lines are one-dimensional, Nathan.
What's two-dimensional then?
A surface is two-dimensional.
And what about an angle?
Angles are measured in degrees.
All right, the ones that the guys brought up that you're now putting on me, like I've made this claim that requires Earth be measured flat from surface level for altitude
You beg
angles.
the question. You beg the question.
I didn't come up with this. This isn't my claim.
It is your claim. Your
I
claim
didn't
is
claim
that
this.
lines are
Guy,
curved.
moderator, can you shut her up? Because I didn't claim this. People have put it to me, and I've responded to it. It's not my claim. She keeps saying I've made a presupposition. I'm not talking about latitude. I didn't bring this up. It's not my claim. Third time.
I wasn't
What's the
talking about
topic then?
that. I'm talking about
Altitude
lines.
angles from
Lines
surface
are
level.
one-dimensional.
Altitude angles
They're
from
not-
surface level. Flat Earth measurements of
talking-
surface level
you're
for
talking
GPs
over
on the
me.
ground. You, Buck, suggested that they weren't on the ground, like we've got a tangential ground that's not the ground, that's below the tangent plane. Well, then there wouldn't be ground positions if they're on an imaginary tangent plane. That's what we're talking about. Flat Earth measurements to ground positions that are flat in linear miles, in radial values that don't bend. Like you suggested when you said they were arcing. Wrong.
So Nathan, maybe let's take this another direction. I've heard you say that when we measure an elevation angle, we measure the line of sight to the celestial object and the surface.
No, I'm not
To
measuring it. It's
clarify,
YouTuber.
when I measure an elevation angle with a theodolite,
that'd be flat.
The surface is not part of that baseline.
So we're
The
not measuring
surface
to
is
ground
never
positions.
used
Then.
as a
So not
baseline.
ground positions.
I'm not talking about ground position. I'm
We
just
are when
talking
we're doing
about
celestial
simply measuring
navigation.
an
That's what
elevation
celestial
angle.
navigation's for. It's navigating the ground that
I'm
you
not
said it's
talking
not
about
about.
celestial navigation.
So navigation's not about the ground?
Nathan, let me get my point across and then
Well,
I'll
that it's not
mute
about the
and you can
ground.
respond.
That it's not about the ground.
When
Yeah,
I
it's the
measure an elevation angle
from the ground,
I use two straight lines.
Elevation means from the ground.
Neither of them
from the
are
ground.
the surface of the earth.
What do you think elevation means? That's from the ground. That's what elevation means.
No, it's not. I'm not measuring
Stuttery.
it.
Yeah, elevation means from the ground. You're just an idiot. You don't need it to be the ground because it's flat that you're measuring the ground. For GP, ground positions, with elevation angles, that means from the ground. You say it's not because the ground's being measured flat. But it is the ground. You're just wrong.
Can I respond?
Do what you like. I'm
so
not your boss.
The surface of the ground is not part of the angle measurement.
The surface of the ground is formed with an elevation angle. Elevation means from the ground. It's the third time I've said it.
No, when we measure an elevation angle...
You win. You win. Elevation's not from the ground. Well done, you win.
I'll repeat that. I think it was a little unclear to you. The surface of the Earth is not part of a baseline in an angular measurement, an elevation angle. We do not use the surface of the Earth.
What angle? Elevation? Yeah, that's the ground.
Yes. So what we do use is the plane.
Yeah, the ground.
Listen. What we do use is the plane that is perpendicular to the downward vector. That's how a theodolite works. Probably the most accurate way of measuring an elevation angle.
From the ground.
So because we take the plane perpendicular to the downward vector using a theodolite, the surface could be curved. It could be triangular. It could be flat. It doesn't tell us anything about the surface, the fact that we can measure an elevation angle, because we don't use the surface. We use, again, the plane perpendicular to the downward vector. So when you claim that the Earth must be flat because we can measure an elevation angle, that's false.
Yeah, it's the plane perpendicular to the downward vector that we measure.
The plane perpendicular to the downward vector is the baseline for the elevation angle to the celestial object.
That's right. Earth's measured flat with an elevation angle perpendicular to a plane of reference for ground positions and elevation angles that are absolutely unequivocally tied directly to the ground. It's the clues in the name. It's elevation, meaning from the ground, that you're denying, because you need the ground to curve away from a tangent plane that won't give you ground positions at the end of these flat radii. You also tried to bend and suggested an arc length. They don't, they're radii.
Let me clarify. Like I said, the baseline of the elevation angle measurement is the plane perpendicular to the downward vector. So the contour below us is irrelevant. So to say because we can measure an elevation angle, the Earth must be flat, that's a false statement, because we don't rely on the surface of the Earth for part of that measurement. We only rely on the plane tangent, the plane perpendicular to the downward vector. That's how theodolite works, as I'm sure you know. So the claim that the Earth must be flat because we measure an elevation angle is false. We don't know about the contour of the Earth just because we can measure an elevation angle.
Yeah, we do. We're navigating it. That's the purpose of this. It's to navigate the ground.
You can measure an elevation angle without doing any type of navigation at all.
Why would we do that?
Elevation angle
we're doing
is just
it for
a
navigation.
precursor to doing celestial navigation.
We could measure a basketball, but that wouldn't be much use in a debate about the ground, which we're having. We do measure the ground for elevation and navigation. Unless you're a ball believer and Earth's got to be measured flat for it, then we're not discussing the ground. And it's got nothing to do with navigation. But for me, a flat earther who does understand navigation and the ground and what elevation means, that's from the ground, and what ground position means, that's with the ground, you can accept this liar who says we're measuring for arc distances. What arc distances along your curved ground when it's you suggesting that it's curving, but not flat when we measure downward vectors with respect to a plane. Then it's not the ground. No, it is still the ground. It's an elevation angle for a GP. That's ground position. So it's definitely the ground. We're navigating it. I mean, you can have a discussion with someone else about not navigating the ground because you need it to be something other than the flat plane that's being measured. We're measuring Earth flat, though, with a plane. That's how we're doing it.
So my backyard is at about a 30-degree grade. I can stand in my backyard on that angle in the dark, so I can't even see the ground. And I can take a homemade device that I've built that uses the plane perpendicular to the downward vector and measure an elevation angle accurately. And I know what it should be, so I know it's accurate. So explain to me how that tells me anything about the surface below me, whether it's curved or flat or what.
The degree that you described with respect to a planar surface, like a surveyor would measure Earth with rise over run. I mean, you could interrupt this and mute this when I point out how flat you'd have to be to describe 30 degrees. Well, that's from surface level. All of the world has been surveyed, and all of it uses flat linear distance measurements to describe topographical deviations in the vertical. In order to describe those surveyed Earth measurements of a flat planar linear distance for perpendicular altitude measurements with respect to it, you need Earth to be measured flat. Otherwise, you don't have perpendicularity for the ascribed topographical deviations that Earth has been surveyed with respect to a flat master reference called sea level. Your altitude where you measured in your back garden is with respect to sea level and documented, and the angle that you described was with respect to a plane also. That's how you describe the degree. That's how we measure Earth. This is the ground being measured, by the way. Planar, flat.
What are flat linear distances?
Is this fifth guy?
Can I just respond to Nathan?
Fifth guy?
No, let me respond, Nathan. So I think the disconnect here is
fifth guy thinks you're doing badly, Buck wants in.
Yeah. I appreciate his effort, but let me take a shot at this.
Me too. It's embarrassing for you, though. Eh? Pretty embarrassing.
I think the disconnect here is you seem to be saying that when I measure the elevation angle, it's with respect to the ground below me. But I'm trying to emphasize that I'm not using the ground below me as the reference for the elevation angle. I'm hanging a plumb bob and taking a plane perpendicular to that plumb bob, and that's the reference for the elevation angle. And because I'm standing on a 30-degree grade, and because I can't even see the surface, I'm not using the surface in any way as a reference. So the fact that the surface has no bearing in this tells us that just because we can measure an elevation angle accurately, that it doesn't tell us anything about the surface below us. And I think that's where our disconnect is.
All right, elevation means from surface.
So, but if I'm standing on a surface and I'm taking a plane just below it, whether I'm on Mount Everest or I'm at sea level, it doesn't make a difference. The angle is still going to be the same. And that's because the celestial object is so far away. So claiming that my angle came from directly on the surface is false, because you never do. A mariner never measures the elevation angle right from the surface. It's always above the surface. So again, that claim that it must be on the surface because it's an elevation angle is false.
Yeah, how much above the surface is a flat Earth measurement as well? So when you described sea level, end quote you, that's the flat Earth master reference I mentioned earlier. You appealed to it for Everest. The height of Everest, or your height that you're measuring your plane with respect to, is also a measurement of an altitude perpendicular to surface level. That's the surface, though. If you're going to give it in an accurate measurement, it would be from sea level. That's a plane that you describe perpendicular altitudes with, like for, I don't know, Everest. So we absolutely do describe the surface. It's just you seem scared of the surface that you're appealing to with things like sea level and altitudes of Everest and degrees from a plane. Yeah, they're absolutely tied to the surface if you're talking about the surface, like when you talk about the surface in your back garden, or the surface of Everest, or the surface of the sea. These are all flat, planar measurements if you're going to measure Earth and its surface. Now, I understand that the surface is quite scary for you guys. You obviously don't want it to be the surface because it's flat when we measure it. So you think that means it's not the surface? It's still elevation that you're describing. The clue is in the title. You're using these words. You also used sea level because you needed to describe altitudes with respect to it. That's how Earth's measured, flat.
I think you're misunderstanding me. I never use the surface in any way when I measure an elevation angle.
Elevation means from surface.
Please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt. I'll be done in a second. What I do use...
Elevation means from surface.
As the horizontal baseline for an elevation angle.
Elevation means from surface.
Please don't interrupt.
Elevation means from surface.
Stop talking over me.
Oh, keep telling me not to. I'll just keep doing it because it's obviously winding you up. I don't mind. You can do it to me with four men. I object to four men being talking to me at the same time. Nothing gets happening. So I'll just keep telling you. Elevation means from surface. You keep saying it's not. I'm just disagreeing with you because you're wrong. Elevation means from surface.
When I measure an elevation angle,
from surface,
I measure it accurately.
From surface.
And I don't do it from the surface.
Yeah, that's what elevation means.
I do it from far above the surface. It doesn't matter how high
far above is a measurement from the surface. How far above is also from the surface. How far above you are, above means from surface. You're above something. Yeah, from surface. How far above you are is also a measurement from the surface that you're denying. So when you say, I'm above the surface. Yeah, that's a description from the surface that you keep denying. Sea level, surface level. These are surface level measurements that you're appealing to. Everest, you're not addressed that either. It's heights from sea level.
You know how when you use a bubble sextant,
Ignore me.
It doesn't matter how high above the ground you are, you still measure the same elevation angle.
How high is from surface level, though, isn't it? Yeah, how high is from the surface?
Wow.
Yeah, how high?
Stop interrupting.
No, I'll do what I like.
Jeremy, could you please server mute
him, mute him, quick, mute him. Mute him, Jeremy, mute him.
No, just mute him
from
long
surface, how high? How high? Yeah, when you're wrong, I'll interrupt you. That's how it goes. That's how conversations go. When you say something incorrect, like how high,
if you
it's
don't
not got anything
mute
to do with the surface.
Nathan Oakley, you're just going to get, audio
Muted?
chaos, guys.
Muted?
I mean, it's not like he will be quiet enough.
Please don't interrupt.
Oh, is this a fifth? No, sixth dude. Sixth dude. Sixth dude. Yeah, when you say how high,
When I interjected,
I'll just tell my audience, because they've obviously decided that how high we are has nothing to do with the surface. Elevation is how high we are. Like elevation angle, that's from the surface. So when he says how high I am's got nothing to do with the surface, it's absolutely unequivocally got something to do with the surface. It's your height from the surface. That's how high he is. Now, I understand that that will need 6 men to cause a bit of Discord rumblings so that the audience doesn't get to hear it in the Discord server. I do actually have an audience and can point out that when he says, no, how high I am has nothing to do with the surface. Yeah, it's your height from the surface, though.
in his mute button that he has a noise gate on his YouTube. That's what it's
But yes, that's right. I've got a mute button when there's lots of audio chaos that you are causing another dude that isn't this guy, Buck, who said elevation. That's height off the surface. Has nothing to do with the surface. When I absolutely destroy him with his own contradictory claim of how high I am, how high you are from the surface, has got nothing to do with the surface. Yeah, it's just wrong.
This is why the moderation is disingenuous, because he's using
Yeah, well, I bleat about the moderation. I'll point out that how high Buck is from the surface.
I just got to make my final conclusion here.
How high you are is from the surface.
Nathan has this claim.
Buck has measured his height from the surface and said it's got nothing to do with the surface, so there's got to be a lot of Discord rumbling so that you can ignore me. You, the audience, gets to hear how disingenuous my opponent is as they tell me that they're going to conclude. No, he's wrong. He's not going to admit he's wrong when he says how high he is has got nothing to do with the surface.
Yeah, I'll just wait for him.
Tools, they're just not willing to use them here. I'm not sure precisely why, but
Okay, let me finish. He stopped talking. So Nathan has this belief that because we can measure an elevation angle on Earth accurately, that means that the surface of the Earth must be flat.
That's correct.
What I've said is that when we measure an elevation angle, the baseline that we use is the plane perpendicular to the downward vector. That gives us an accurate elevation angle measurement.
Yeah, we measure a flat. That's right.
That the surface
that's right. Well
is
done.
not
We measure a
used
flat
in any way.
That's right.
So
we
the
measure a
fact
flat.
that we can measure an elevation angle tells us nothing about
we're measuring an elevation angle that's flat.
The Earth below us.
Well, it's flat.
So
You're
when
measuring
he
a
makes
flat
that
angle.
claim that elevation angles prove the Earth is flat,
yeah, it means
I think
it's
he's false.
Well, you think it's false. It's not. It's a flat level measurement from surface level.
Well, then prove me wrong.
Well, I don't need to prove you wrong. You're appealing to a flat Earth measurement of elevation from surface level.
I just explained to you why it's not a flat Earth measurement.
Why? Because your height
works
of
on
surface level.
Whatever the surface contour is.
But it's not. There's no contour to a radii that you're deriving with these measurements.
Forget radii.
Oh, so should we forget the Earth measurements? Okay, Buck says to you globe believers out there, forget this radii measurement. I'm going to choose not to, actually, Buck. I'm not scared of the Earth measurements that are flat. I'm not scared of these. You are. I'm not going to forget anything. Earth's measured flat for this radial value.
You haven't been able...
You stuttery little gamma. No, I'm not going to forget this height that you appeal to as not having anything to do with the surface. You haven't addressed that either, Buck. Height is from the surface. That's when all the Discord chaos started.
You measure an elevation angle from is irrelevant. You get the same value.
Elevation means from the surface. These globe believers are now scared of the surface. Nothing to do with the surface, you say? It's an elevation from the surface, though, isn't it? That got your tongue? Maybe stutter a response at me.
Well, you were talking over me, so I didn't hear your question.
Oh, you said elevation had nothing to do with the surface, and then a load of cucks came to your defense?
Correct. Elevation
surface is what you're measuring your height from.
The measurement of elevation angle has nothing to do with the surface.
Elevation means from the surface.
So when you're measuring the height of a mountain,
has nothing to do with it.
It's elevation. Elevation means from surface. Nothing to do with it if you're a globe believer, because you don't use these globe measurements for a globe. They're not globe measurements, they're from a plane. Perpendicular downward orientation with respect to a plane. Yeah, that's what elevation is going to be measured with respect to a plane. That's how we measure elevation, from a plane.
When we measure an elevation angle, the surface of the Earth and the shape of it has no relevance.
Yeah, it does. It's a straight line along the baseline. That's what's forming the angle. Called an elevation angle, meaning specifically from the surface. 10th time I've said it.
Well,
maybe if you cook.
So when we measure an elevation angle from 100 meters and 0 meters?
100 meters would be your height off surface level. He tried to deny that when he used this last time, when all the cooks came to his defense, caused a lot of chaos, moaned about how I should be getting muted. I pointed out that 100 meters is your height off surface level.
Well, we can move on.
Stuttery! We can move on, can we, Stuttery? No, I'm going to stay right here with the thing you're terrified of. Your height from a flat Earth.
So you're not going to take me away?
No, I'm not going to take you away. I'm going to tell you that you're using your height of a flat Earth to say you're not measuring with respect to the surface when you've got a height in a 100-meter format from the surface. Earth's measured flat for altitude. It's perpendicular to sea level or surface level.
When we measure an elevation angle, the surface plays no role in it.
Elevation means from the surface. It's the 11th time I've pointed out that the clue is in the title. Elevation means from the surface. When he says 100 meters, that's his height off the surface to suggest that a surface angle elevation, when you take into account your height off the surface, means it's got nothing to do with the surface. I've understood his position, I've steel-manned his position, and then I've rammed his perpendicular altitude from sea level right back up him. That's what I've done.
So let's try this.
Let's try and form a sentence without stuttering. But let's try not to stutter at the beginning. Altitudes from sea level. Your altitude, 100 meters.
This road. Nathan, when you've measured an elevation angle, what device did you use?
I used a flat Earth for the baseline. Its clue is in the title. It's called elevation. So the baseline will run along the base to the ground position, 90 degrees to the star or sun or moon that you're measuring this angle. What kind of angle is it again? Oh, an elevation angle, specifically and explicitly tying it to the surface you've denied 11 times. It's definitely
so
on the surface.
I think you were talking over my...
unless it's 100 meters above the surface, then maybe it's got nothing to do with the 100 meters above the surface that you're above the surface of. Maybe then it's got nothing to do with the surface. Maybe I misunderstood because I was just talking to you. Maybe this muttering through the top of this demolition will mean that you win. Beta. This is the beta mute button. I'm going to start calling it the beta mute button when they start yakking through the devastating loss. That he's appealed to 100 meters from the surface to say it's not anything to do with the surface. It is 100 meters off the surface for an angle that's described with the surface. It's an elevation angle. We measure Earth flat with angles along a baseline that represent the surface we're going to be navigating. Unless you're a globe believer and you decide we're not measuring the surface for this navigation process.
It's not a flat.
So is that the server operator stepping in because Buck's using his beta mute button on me? So the server operator's decided he doesn't want to tolerate the devastating loss he's suffering when he denies that the surface he's 100 meters above has nothing to do with the surface. That's him lying to you, my audience. That's a globe-believing liar. He also said the radius I diagrammatically exampled on screen for my audience was bent. He said it was an arc length. That's a lie also. Buck's full of lies. Lies about surface level not being something to do with elevation because he's 100 meters above the surface level, so not the surface. Yeah, it definitely is. We're measuring Earth flat for these altitude angles. They're from the surface. Or 100 meters above the surface.
Nathan, can we go down this road? The last time I measured an elevation angle, about a month ago, I have this theodolite. Tell me what tool you used the last time you measured an elevation angle, and maybe we could try and figure out where our disconnect is.
Earth surface. I used it diagrammatically. I didn't actually physically go out and measure, but hypothetically, surface of Earth for the middle of mute button.
No, but just
beta mute
even
button,
if it was
beta
like 5 years
beta,
ago, what was the last tool you used?
Beta scared of getting doxed while he threatens to dox me. Beta. I'm talking beta. Do you want to use your mute button again? Go ahead, mute me. Go ahead. Surface level. That's what I'll use to answer your question. Beta mute button again immediately. Beta mute button needed when the surface level's the answer. Yeah, I'll be measuring hypothetically from surface level if I'm measuring an altitude angle. That's what altitude means. So we're definitely going to be measuring it from the surface. If we're not, we'd need to know, I don't know, if we were 100 meters, end quote you, above the surface, as you, Buck, concede how flat Earth will be measured perpendicular for an altitude at 100 meters, end quote you, from the surface. As you deny, that's lie about it not being the surface, because you're 100 meters, end quote you, above, nothing to do with the surface. No, we're definitely describing that 100 meters from the surface if we're measuring altitude angles. That's why we'd need to know how high we were, because it's an altitude angle, meaning from the surface. Otherwise, we wouldn't care how high we were. Like, I don't know, if we were 100 meters from a surface, we're denying when we're lying ballers. But we do measure altitude angles with respect to ground positions at the end of the flat baselines that form the angle on the surface of Earth, or at an altitude from sea level. Obviously, we'd need to know how high we are from a flat Earth called sea level. We'd need to know that, I don't know, 100 meters, end quote you, when you deny that this has anything to do with the surface, when we're describing navigating it with celestial navigation, altitude angles from the surface and elevations 100 meters from the surface that you keep denying. Now, it's not that I don't understand, I just know that you're a lying scrote who needs to deny the surface we're measuring flat. What's that, perpendicular to a plane? Yeah, that's how we're measuring Earth's surface for ground positions and altitude angles, with respect to a plane, end quote you. Glad you understand how flat we measure Earth with respect to a plane that we get altitude measurements from. Glad we cleared it up and you now understand how flat Earth is measured. Not that you're consequential to this. It's not like you're the arbiter of an elevation angle or altitude or sea level or surface level or the height of Everest. You have no consequence on any of these concepts. It's irrelevant. Earth's measured flat regardless of this discussion. This whole thing's a folly. This is only being done because what I really do is entertain YouTube audiences for money. That's what I do. With idiots that lie to me about 100 meters not having anything to do with the surface, radii being arcs. You know, idiots, basically, you.
Okay, Nathan, I think to help clarify our disconnect, I'd like to talk about how we actually measure elevation angles. And like I was trying to say, the last time I measured an elevation angle was about a month ago. It wasn't my homemade tool. I actually have a theodolite. And that's what I use to measure the elevation angle. The last time you measured an elevation angle, what tool would you use? Because if you tell me what tool, I think we could talk through how that tool that you used was not using the surface in any way. So it doesn't actually tell us the contour of the surface. Okay, so what tool did you use last time you measured an elevation angle? So you're saying this process that we're describing navigating Earth with won't be with respect to the surface, says you? So which tool was that? So I'm just clarifying that we're talking about something that has no relation to the surface, according to you. That's what you've just said. Are we not talking about the surface? Let me restate that. It's the surface plays no role in establishing the elevation angle. Now, so what tool did you use the last time? Even if it was like 2 or 3 years ago, what tool did you use? So you just said the surface has nothing to do with establishing an elevation, meaning from surface. Correct. Angle. So again, that's wrong. You're wrong. Seriously, let's try this. You tell me what tool you used the last time you measured an elevation. Your assertion's not being acknowledged. You're using the beta mute button on me. He's using the beta mute button on me. I want to point out he's wrong. Beta mute button in use right now. I can't continue answering your question. You're wrong. Your premise is flawed. You said that an elevation angle had nothing to do with the surface. You are wrong. Well, the way I'm trying to establish our disconnect is by relating the tools we use to measure an elevation angle. And I think if we go that route, then we can figure out where our disconnect is. So again, I'm going to ask you, like I volunteered, I used a theodolite. The last time you measured an elevation angle, like say to Polaris, what tool did you use? From the surface for elevation angle, right? What from the surface, right? The problem we're having this disconnect, end quote you, is because you're talking about this measurement beta mute button, beta mute button being used. Yeah, the reason we're having this so-called disconnect is because you're suggesting this doesn't have anything to do with the surface. Now, there's 2 problems with that. Number 1, I've said 12 times. It's an elevation, meaning from surface, angle. Number 2, if it's nothing to do with the surface, why are we debating it
If it's got nothing to do with the surface, I don't care. I know Earth's measured flat with elevation angles. The problem is that you say they've got nothing to do with the surface. You're just wrong. They do. That's why they've got the word elevation in the title. Seems obvious to me, but you're obviously stupid. That's why we're having this disconnect. If we're not talking about the surface, okay, elevation from the middle of nowhere in thin air? No, it's elevation. It's specifically tied to the surface. You're just a dimwit.
Let me repeat. When we measure an elevation angle, we don't use the surface to measure that elevation.
What does elevation mean?
That doesn't mean that the elevation angle isn't from the surface. It means that
what we've just heard is we're not measuring the surface with an elevation angle, but that doesn't mean an elevation angle doesn't have anything to do with the surface. Complete contradiction in terms. Total nonsense. Waffle.
No.
Total nonsense.
We can measure an elevation angle from an airplane without seeing the surface.
Yeah, we'd need to know the elevation of the plane.
It's irrelevant.
Sorry, we need to know the elevation of the plane.
Angle.
I'm going to be rumpus when I prove him wrong. Yeah, so that's no worries. I'll just communicate with you to the audience. If we're going to take an elevation angle measurement from a plane, we'd need to know our height off the sea level, the surface level. Earlier, when he tried this little trick, he used 100 feet. And said it wasn't anything to do with the surface. Now we're in a plane, and we'd need to know
whether we're in an airplane,
we need its
or
altitude.
at the surface, and you know that. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'd need to know the altitude, though, wouldn't we? Unless we're using a bubble sextant.
Absolutely not. Why would we need to know the altitude to measure an elevation?
We wouldn't if we're using a bubble, because then we're parallel with the surface.
Correct.
So we're parallel with a flat surface. Parallel is axiomatically two straight lines, one on top of the other. Flat and horizontal for an altitude perpendicular to sea level. So yeah, we don't need the surface level if we're parallel with the surface level, but we can only be parallel with a flat
That's how a
plane. We can only be parallel with a plane though, Buck. The surface.
A bubble sextant simply measures the plane perpendicular to the downward vector.
Yes, so downward vector means we're measuring a downward vector with respect to a plane. These are all flat Earth measurements for altitudes of planes, so they can fly over the mountains that are measured with respect to that plane for its altitude off the plane. So the plane, aeroplane, can fly over parallel. And when we measure angles, we don't need to correct to the surface level if we're parallel with the surface level, axiomatically requiring Earth be a flat level to be parallel with.
So, Nathan, it sounds like you've used a bubble sextant. Am I correct?
No.
You've used a bubble sextant?
No, they're used regularly on aeroplanes when they measure angles parallel to surface level, so they can find their positional information in a navigation structure that requires them know their height off surface level so they don't smash into mountains that are measured parallel with planes, perpendicular to downward vectors. So planes use parallel flight level and ground level and surface level and altitude angles that are parallel with the plane of reference below them.
So, Nathan, when you used your bubble sextant...
I didn't. Now he's just misrepresenting. I explicitly answered him, no, I've never used a bubble sextant. So now he's saying, when you use a bubble sextant, which tells me that he's obviously using his beta mute button through the top of me so he doesn't have to listen to my responses.
So let's
you're just going to beta mute me, so I'm just going to get
example.
beta muted. Okay, so that's how it works. Beta mute button when you're proven to be using a flat Earth parallel to surface level with bubble sextants. That's parallel to the plane below it.
What part of a bubble sextant ensures this parallel aspect to the surface?
Earth's got a parallel surface level with the bubble. That's how it's being utilized for an angle. That's an elevation angle. You don't have to correct your angle to a horizon like you would with a mariner's sextant if you've got a bubble, because the bubble forms a level which is perpendicular to the plane of reference below. The same plane of reference that the plane relies upon knowing the heights of things like Everest, so it doesn't smash into Everest or a hill when it's flying over it. You'd need to know the topographical deviations in the vertical with respect to a plane measured from sea level. Same sea level, same surface level, same altitude angle, all of which are axiomatically requiring a flat plane of Earth's surface be measured.
Okay, so let me explain my point of view. When you use a bubble sextant, it doesn't have any reference to the surface. A bubble sextant merely establishes a vertical and then takes the plane perpendicular.
The plane perpendicular, so it's definitely got to do with the plane. Yeah, when we're in a plane, we need to know about the plane of reference that the heights of the mountains are measured off. with our barometric pressure for our altitude, which we know in a height measured from sea level, depicted in a value perpendicular to the plane. The downward orientation also, which you keep appealing to, requires a plane. It's downward orientation.
So let me repeat. What part of the bubble sextant does what you said it does? Makes it
I'm not
parallel
to
the surface.
You're the one who gave
what
us
part of the bubble sextant?
I'm not. You are. You're the one appealing to it. I pointed out that to use this tool, you need to be parallel to a plane. You confirmed. Simple.
Well, is that plane the surface, or is it the...
Yeah, that's what the plane's flying over. It's parallel to the surface. If it wasn't relevant, you wouldn't need to confirm how parallel we are with it. You confirmed already how parallel with the surface plane, the sea level, the altitude of the mountain and the plane is measured with respect to. Yeah, it's absolutely got something to do with the plane of Earth's surface. That's how all of this is axiomatically being detailed, parallel to it.
Nathan, you said that the bubble sextant is parallel to the surface. What part of the bubble sextant ensures that parallel nature to the surface?
Oh, the bubble itself.
So the bubble is establishing that parallel? The bubble...
Yeah, the clue is in the fucking title. It's called a bubble sextant. The bubble is used for the baseline, parallel with the surface level.
What the
hell? And you actually let him answer, or what the fuck?
Yeah, the bubble's parallel with the surface level. That's correct. That's how it works. The baseline is established with the bubble.
Does the bubble work by detecting the downward vector, or is it somehow able to
why'd you keep asking me this? What is this going into?
Horizontal.
According to you, this has nothing to do with the surface. Why are you even asking these questions? Earth's measured flat with this tool.
Because the mechanism for which the bubble sextant works backs my claim that we are not measuring a baseline of the surface. We're measuring a baseline that's perpendicular to the downward vector, because a bubble establishes a downward vector. It's exactly the same as a plumb bob.
Gotcha.
And the horizontal part of the bubble makes it so that we have a horizontal to the downward vector when you align the bubble in the middle of a circle or between two lines, because it's influenced by the downward vector. And by positioning it in the middle, we establish a horizontal line that's perpendicular to the downward vector, because it's pulling equally to the left and to the right. So in no way does a bubble sextant establish some sort of parallel with the surface. It only works with the downward vector, just like a theodolite. And that's why the fact that we can use one to measure an accurate elevation angle tells us nothing about this contour of the surface below us.
Why are they using it again?
Sorry?
So you said this got nothing to do with the surface, and my question in response, if it's got nothing to do with the surface, this bubble sextant that's under the chair of the pilot, why is it being used exactly? What's its purpose?
Well, back in the day, they used it to measure elevation angles.
Oh, elevation.
Now.
Elevation being from surface.
Yes.
Yes. So when you say this has nothing to do with the surface, it's explicitly, directly tied to the surface, that they need it for navigating the surface with.
There's no role in that.
So it's a tool for navigating, isn't it?
Its contour is...
It's a tool for navigating, though, isn't it?
Round.
It's a tool for navigating, though, isn't it?
A bubble sextant? A bubble sextant's a tool for measuring elevation angles.
For the purpose of navigation.
The precursor is you need to have multiple elevation angles.
So
at least 3 or 4
navigating the surface
objects.
then. So just you seem to be causing a bit of audio chaos rather than the devastating defeat you're about to face if you could tolerate not beta muting me. Well, I'll say it again for the 3rd time without interruption. So it's specifically for navigating the surface. This tool, you say, doesn't have anything to do with the surface.
No, a bubble...
Oh, I see. So we're not measuring elevation angles for navigation purposes. So why is the tool on the plane exactly? You're just a liar.
The tool itself does not do navigation.
It's being used for navigation purposes, though, isn't it? That's why it's there.
A calculator is used for navigation.
So we're using it so we can take the flat Earth measurements, put them through calculations for navigating the surface that you say it's got nothing to do with. Yeah, that's right. They're using this tool to navigate the surface with elevation angles that are explicitly and directly connected to the measurement of the surface that they're using it to navigate.
So when we do celestial navigation, we are...
Sorry, a minute ago, this had nothing to do with the surface. Now he's asking me a question about navigation. Sorry, you don't get to appeal to this, you globe-believing idiot. For you, this has nothing to do with your surface. It's just a flat surface this has relevance to. It's not anything to do with your surface.
Measure an elevation.
Sorry, eat that mic. Eat that mic while I point out that you've denied this has anything to do with the surface. So can you stop appealing to this having relevance to navigation? For you... it has nothing to do with your globe surface.
When we measure an elevation...
You don't. You're not measuring anything, right? This has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with your surface. You keep denying it. Now you're trying to appeal to me about how this has something to do with navigation. Well, that's the surface that you kept denying this had anything to do with. So for you, it doesn't have anything to do with your globe surface because we're measuring perpendicularity to a plane. That you've already conceded.
The surface below us plays no role in that measurement.
The tool's only being used to navigate the surface. That's the only purpose of having the tool on the plane, so we can navigate the surface.
Let me repeat.
Sorry, repeat what? That it's got nothing to do with the surface? Its only purpose in being there is to navigate? Yeah, I know. I'm pointing out to my audience that you're a liar. It's just got nothing to do with your globe surface when we navigate the flat surface with these flat elevation angles and these perpendicular altitudes and these elevation angles with heights from surface level measured from sea level and mountain height with respect to planar surfaces, parallels that are absolute respect to the surface. It's just got nothing to do with your surface. You've denied it 12 times.
I'll repeat it so everyone understands.
You've denied that this has anything to do with the surface, so stop appealing to it. It just doesn't have anything to do with your globe surface.
Of the surface.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with your surface. It's flat surface this is for.
Elevation angle that we've determined, that elevation angle can't be used for some future calculation that involves the surface.
That's exactly what it's being used for. It's being used with a calculator to calculate the surface, end quote, book 35 seconds ago.
You know it.
Eat that mic while you tell me no. Yeah, you did. You said you could put the elevation angles through a calculation because that's what it's for. Calculating the surface level, flat. For radii values, flat. Distances in miles, flat. That's what you're doing with it.
You can say that.
No, that's what it's for. Do you want my diagrammatical example to be put back up? No worries, Buck. I'll put it on screen for an audience. Diagrammatically exampled with a flat radii, 3 areas of equal elevation on a flat surface for GPS on the ground, which is what this tool in the aeroplane is being used for, navigating the surface. Buck has 12 times, a dozen times, denied this has anything to do with the surface. And my response, yeah, it does. It's for navigating the flat Earth surface, just not your surface that you keep saying it's got nothing to do with. No, it's got nothing to do with your surface. It's measuring Earth flat.
Lying about what I'm saying, but everyone knows.
Sorry, I heard him 12 times. I repeated them and counted them off. Nothing to do with the surface is something he has repeatedly used. It is almost rhetoric-like in his delivery of his assertion that this has, quote, nothing to do with the surface, end quote.
The measurement of the angle has nothing to do with the surface.
It's explicitly to do with the surface. That's what it's for. It's for navigating the surface, just not his surface. It is for flat Earth measurements of an elevation angle that's explicitly to do with the surface. That's what elevation means. It's just not got anything to do with Buck's globe surface.
Hard to explain something so obvious to me to someone who's never at all even attempted to do such a thing.
I've got it diagrammatically exampled on screen. I don't have to do a damn thing to understand how flat Earth is for elevation angles from surface level, or at altitudes that are parallel with surface level, for heights perpendicular to surface level, with planes, end quote you, that we have a downward vector perpendicular to, end quote you. Yeah, those are all planar, surface level, that we're navigating.
When we use a theodolite to measure an elevation...
So we're using a bubble sextant or a mariner sextant. Now we're onto a new tool that's got a 0 degree reference for its baseline also. Yeah, we measure Earth flat with theodolites also.
We don't use the...
Sorry, you stuttery. You're scared of the fact that Earth's being measured flat with sextants for navigation of the surface. You've denied it 12 times. It's just not the globe surface. We measure Earth flat with sextants.
Elevation angle?
Yeah, from the surface, that's right.
It's in that measurement either. So
yeah,
that's 3 tools I've listed for measuring elevation angles where the surface plays no role.
We're measuring elevation with it. Elevation means from the surface. This is the 13th time he's now denied that it has anything to do with. 25 seconds ago, Buck was suggesting that he hadn't suggested this has nothing to do with the surface. Now he's done it again in the last 30 seconds for the 13th time, just so we're all clear. You say it's got nothing to do with your surface.
Bubble sextant?
It does.
Bubble sextant. We don't use the surface to measure the.
It's specifically for navigating the surface. It's the only reason it's on the aeroplane, so they can use it to find their way on the surface.
A quadrant. We do not use the surface to measure an elevation angle. 3 devices I've used to measure elevation angles. Each time the angle is correct, and each time I never use the surface. So that means that the fact that I can measure an accurate elevation angle tells us nothing about the surface below us. It doesn't tell us if it's flat or curved or anything.
Maybe I'm confused. What does elevation mean again? Cat got your tongue? Maybe stutter a response to me. What does elevation
the angular
mean?
height of.
Oh, height, as in from the surface, then?
Correct.
So absolutely unequivocally tied directly and axiomatically to the surface that you've denied 14 times, then?
The point is that the surface is not needed to measure an elevation angle. Therefore, measuring an elevation angle.
So what does elevation mean again?
Contour of
So
the
what does
surface.
elevation mean again? I thought we clarified this 25 seconds ago. What does elevation mean again?
It means the angular height from the curved surface.
No, you won't be curved if you're an angle. Angles don't curve. So Buck's now lying, yeah? Maybe he'll use his little beta mute button. Oh, we need the beta mute button. While I point out the lie, we're going to get the beta mute button. He's just said angles have got curves. Angles are 2 straight lines meeting at a vertex. That's what an angle is. Buck's just lied. Now he's going to use his little beta mute button while I summarise the lie he's used. Buck's lied to you. Now we're getting the beta mute button constantly. Constant beta muting. No, you don't get curves forming angles. They're straight lines, like baselines. Like
So
the elevation.
Nathan, how did I measure an elevation angle for my 30-degree grade?
I'll start counting them off. How many times they're scared of this and need to beta mute me? 4 so far. I'll keep counting them. That's 5. No, we're specifically describing elevation.
An elevation angle
6th time beta muting. I'll keep counting, but the beta mute button that you keep using 6 times so far. Beta mute button. No, we don't have elevation curves. They're not called elevation curves. Beta mute button won't save you from the fact that you've lied about them being formed with curves. No, they're angles, Buck. 2 straight lines meeting at a vertex isn't a curve angle. You're just lying. Now, for you, this has nothing to do with the beta mute button. That's 7 times beta mute button being used. Maybe a neutral platform. Maybe you'd be better off on a neutral platform where they'd mute me as you beta mute me for the 7th time. No, they're not curve angles. You're just wrong, Buck. Lying, I would suggest.
I've never said they're curve
That's
angles.
the 8th beta mutes. Do you keep counting? No, they're angles.
No,
that's the 9th beta mute. Just cannot help himself. I'll keep counting till I get to the end of this statement about how lies need to be used when angles with straight lines. That's 10 beta mutes so far.
Well, you've beta muted me 14 times. I see.
Oh, now he's going to start telling you how many times I've muted him while he lies about angle measurements having curves forming them. No, the baseline's not a curve. 10 beta mutes isn't going to change your lie. Earth's measured flat. Elevation means from surface.
20 beta mutes. Stop beta muting
11.
me.
That's 11 beta mutes. Surface
Well,
level
you've
is
beta
what?
muted me
12,
20 times,
12
so
beta
that's
mutes.
21.
Every single time we're going to have this. This is all we've got now. The
22.
server
You gonna get
operator,
a
he's
room or
eating his
something? I mean,
microphone
he's doing
while he
all
now,
right.
for the
I actually have
13th
an
time,
engineering job that I
beta
gotta go to.
mutes.
Here
How
comes
wrong
Eddie
it is.
Bear.
It's got
I'm gonna go
constant
to my
audio chaos
engineering
now.
job,
So just for the audience's benefit, this is what you need to do if you're on the globe side. When you lose badly and start having to assert that you've got curve angles, you'll need to beta mute the person pointing out how wrong you are 14 times.
Len's paying him £100 to.
Now we're talking about something that's got nothing to do with the angle from surface level, that's altitude angle, and how straight lines are forming it. He's just asserted they're curved. 15th interruption, and now we're talking about how I get paid. That's what you need to do, little beaters on the globe side when you lose.
Anyone on the Discord channel.
Control.
Yeah, but we
All right,
can't
guys.
hear anything because you're just muting
That
him
on
because you're talking over him.
I gotta go work. Talk to you guys later. It's been a pleasure.
Bye, little beta coward.
the
Did we get his
situation
name,
is-
audience? Did we get this beta cuck coward's name? I don't think we did. I'm pretty sure he's hiding behind his gimp mask. That's all he's really doing. As he runs away after muting me 14 times. I mean, it was important enough to talk through the curve angle that he was appealing to from the surface level he said we're not measuring for an altitude angle. Now he needs to run away. Left the oven on, have you, little beta? Bye-bye. Next.
Bear wants to get in there so badly.
I bet he does. It's all right. He's gone now. All the cucks. Pick which one.
Can we have a little chat, Nathan?
You may.
So as Buck was asking you about the relationship between measuring an angle to Polaris and 60 nautical miles, yesterday you said that was a fact on flat Earth. That's how you measure flat Earth. You take an elevation angle to Polaris. Every time you move in 1 degree from the equator, you measure 60 nautical miles, 69 statute miles, which gives you a radial value for flat Earth. You described the equator as a circle, the biggest circle, you said. So could you please give us the radial value for flat Earth from the GP of Polaris to the circle of the equator, please?
You're talking about something that's not mine. I don't take ownership of the equator. But what you're describing is called latitude. You understand that this is called latitude, right?
I understand your claim.
My claim of latitude? No, that's not mine. I didn't create latitude. It's not mine.
That wasn't
yes,
an
you made
answer.
it live yesterday on your screen. You made it clear.
Yeah, it's on screen now. I'll go through that now then, Edinburgh. When you're done, just let me know and I'll go through it now. It's on my screen for the audience now.
Well,
So on screen now, flat Earth measurement of angle to the sun. That's right. The angle. Measured.
Live on your show yesterday, you said what you do is you stand on the equator and you move. And every time you move 60 nautical miles, hang on, you're talking over me. You're talking over me. Can you stop?
I said a word.
Can you stop talking over me?
I haven't said anything.
60 miles closer to the GP of Polaris. And that's and you start from the equator, which you said was the biggest circle on flat Earth. So now we have 91 degree increments of 69 miles from the circle of the equator that you said to the GP of Polaris. Could you give us the radial value for the circumference you've already said was 24,901 miles? Can you give us that, please?
Well, that's the globe Earth value. That's not my value.
No, you told me.
But that's a value that's described with latitude. I haven't measured this. It's the second time I'm repeating
I have
myself.
a
I'll just say it
recording.
again.
I have a
It
record-
seems I'm getting the beta mute button
I have a
immediately. I'm
recording.
getting the beta mute button straight away. Let's try again. Second time.
I have
Beta
a
mute?
recording.
Yeah, beta mute immediately.
you
Immediately beta
telling me-
mute. Operator,
I have a
are you just going to
recording
allow
of
him
you
to
saying-
beta mute me so I don't get to respond while
I
he
was
beta mutes me?
talking now, you're
Beta
talking
mutes me.
over me.
So let's count off the amount of times I get beta muted by this coward. Another faceless, nameless troll in a gimp mask beta muting me. That's 2 so far.
You're a bit
This
sad.
is not a
Yeah, I
third
know your
beta
audience
mute.
might like to hear
Third
this
beta
stuff,
mute,
but it's
so
not
the
relevant to
server
this
operator is
room,
just
is
going
it?
to allow this guy
Or
to
the
beta mute his
conversation.
guest. Okay, so I'm just going to get beta muted in the server. Okay.
No, you're not getting beta muted because you're.
No, I'm not. You're right. I can just shut you up for my audience and talk to them directly without you interrupting me. That's right. I've got control over my own show. When I say, no, we're not going to ascribe this to me, like, who was it last time? Bev, that tried to do the exact same thing. It's not my equator. It's not Nathan's equator. Can you show me where it's labelled as Nathan's equator, please?
You said so yesterday live.
Yeah, I'm describing my opponent's position. That's called steel manning. It doesn't make it mine. I asked you to justify your suggestion that it is. Show me where it's labelled Nathan's equator, please. Go.
Doesn't matter. It's what you.
Oh, it doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. When I'm being straw-manned with something that's not mine, it's my opponent's. It is mine because it doesn't matter. No, if you're going to ascribe this to me, I'm going to need to see at least one example that's got my name on it. Go.
Yeah, yesterday's live show.
That's not somebody late. Oh, so you're saying that I ascribed Nathan's equator in yesterday's show? Give me a timestamp.
It's in yesterday's show. You explained how you measured the Earth flat.
Sorry, is that labelling it as Nathan's equator to make it mine, or is that me describing how my opponents appealed to flat Earth measurements?
No, yours.
No, it's not mine. I think this is the 4th time. It's not Nathan's equator when I point out how my opponents, like Buck, the coward gimp that ran away, that kept denying how the surface was being measured when he's appealing to these measurements. That's not me. So when my opponents appeal to there being an equator, It's not Nathan's equator, but their equator, they will require they measure Earth flat for. You want to make that mine? It's not mine. Sorry. You must have misunderstood.
You've taken ownership of it, though. You've taken ownership of
Oh, you need to tell me that it's mine now. I see.
Is the equator
Stuttery. It's not my equator, Stuttery, okay? Yeah, it's not Nathan's equator.
was the biggest...
It's not Nathan's latitude either, just so we're clear on that.
So the equator is a circle.
It's not mine, though. It's not going to ever be ascribed to me so you can burn this little straw man that Bev tried to. Presumably under your tutelage. You're doing the exact same Bev tactic.
Is it my claim? No, I'm not.
Oh, sorry. Is it Nathan's equator?
Okay.
Nathan Oakley made the claim.
I didn't make the claim. That's a lie. So now he's lying about me. I didn't claim the equator. It's not mine. I'm not ever going to claim the equator's mine. This is a lie.
Okay,
My
so
claim is-
he's not making a claim
This is
about the equator.
cuck number
What's
2.
your claim on?
Just so my audience knows, we've now got a cuck who's come to perform on behalf of this limp dick. That's what's now happening. Second dude.
I didn't come to make a
A
claim.
cuck. You got a cuck on your behalf there, Bev. It's Bev's
Who's
argument.
cucking?
You
Am I
bet-
is that
cucking
a
for you?
claim?
for Bev and this guy who's talking. We've got 3 people talking. Me, you, and this guy.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Meanwhile, it's not Nathan's equator, it's not Nathan's latitude, and when my opponents appeal to it and I point out how they're measuring Earth flat, that doesn't make it mine.
No, you said how you measured it.
No. No, definitely not. YouTuber. When someone tries to ascribe these measurements to me, like Buck did earlier, he said, have you used a bubble sextant? I have humility and said no. And in the same way, I definitely haven't said, actually, it's Nathan Oakley's
There were
equator.
90
I haven't done that. I'm being cuck muted, it seems. I didn't claim this.
Explained there were 91.
Yeah, I'm definitely being beta muted by this guy. Second attempt. It's not my equator. 5th time I've told you. We
But
do
the
measure Earth flat
radius.
for it, though. You do if you're
So the
appealing to it.
radius value of 96.
The radii don't bend. If we've got a value in miles that's claimed to be a measurement, that's flat. Radii don't bend.
Given that you stated that the equator comes.
Not my equator. When opponents appeal to the equator, it's got a flat Earth radial value, though. It's not mine, but it is a flat Earth radial value.
What's
That's
the
correct.
radial value of flat Earth? That gives.
That's right, a flat Earth radial value. It can't be anything other than flat. It's a radii. Now, I don't appeal to this. It's not Nathan's equator. But when other people appeal to our flat Earth must be measured for a flat radial value in linear flat miles, that's them using flat Earth measurements for their claim. That's what I point out. You need to ascribe it to me so you can show me how my equator's wrong. That's what you need to do. Well
I'm
done.
addressing your claim from yesterday.
Not my claim. 6th time? How many times is the server operator going to allow this guy to repeatedly burn the same straw man? Well, I'm being ascribed my opponent's equator. It's not mine.
It was your equator yesterday.
Oh, it's mine yesterday! Timestamp, please. I've already dealt with this. There's no point in yesterday's show where I said this is Nathan Oakley's equator. I described the derivation of the latitude system. That's not mine.
No, what you described to your audience was how the Earth is measured flat.
That's correct. Earth is measured flat for latitude when you guys believe that you're developing a globe. Yeah, you guys measure Earth flat. That's right. That's what I point out.
No, you said that.
That's right. I say Earth is measured flat for you when you use a star and a flat Earth to measure it with. I mean, you can deny that this has anything to do with the ground when we take an elevation angle, the one that Buck denied 14 times as being anything to do with the ground. But now we're explicitly dealing with the ground. Not my ground, but a ground that gets measured for these systems that aren't mine, that are flat Earth measurements. That's right. I do point that out, because Earth does get measured flat for this. That's correct. Maybe deny it's the
Right.
ground.
You've never measured it flat. So
No, I haven't. But Earth is measured flat. Even when you want to tell me it's mine, you're going to simultaneously tell me I've not measured anything. No, that's right. I've admitted to it. It's not Nathan's equator he measured. Whose is it? Oh, it's my opponent's. But it'd be quite handy if it was mine so you could burn this little straw man, right?
remember yesterday when you made a circle with your finger?
Yeah.
When you were describing the circle of the equator. Do you remember
Yes,
that?
I do.
And you said it was the biggest circle on flat Earth.
That's right. Yeah, the biggest circle that you can measure with Polaris. I don't know about those words crossing my lips. I don't think I ever remember saying the biggest circle on flat Earth. I think you've just made that quote
Yeah.
up.
No.
Yeah, you have. I can remember the words that come out of my own mouth. I didn't ever say the biggest circle on flat Earth. That's not what I said.
Well, it's been recorded.
Go and get me a
It was
timestamp.
live, and that's
Go and
what
get me
you
a
said.
timestamp.
I don't have a time.
Oh, you don't? So it's a baseless assertion. No, I'm just going to call it for what it is. A complete lie. Now, I don't take ownership of the equator. It is a flat Earth measurement of the surface with an elevation angle to derive radial values that get ascribed in latitude lines that is absolutely going to be claimed by ballers to be the surface when they describe the curve of the protractor being the degrees that are measured. So then it's the surface. What, when we're talking about the degrees on a curved protractor measured for a radial value that you guys, not me, call the equator? Yeah, that's you guys using flat Earth measurements to derive values that you say are definitely the surface. Unless you buck.
Are the southern circles bigger
Sorry, south is flat.
than the biggest
South
of
is
the
flat.
equator?
South's
What
flat.
size are the southern circles?
South is flat. South is a flat direction.
And what size?
Right, so what stuttery? South is a flat Earth directionality. It's called azimuth. It's horizontal. It's only a flat Earth measurement.
But it relates to another star system, doesn't
Right,
it?
flat. The flat measurement of south.
You don't know anything about it.
So why am I being told what I don't know? I know what south is. It's a flat horizontal degree from north, 180 degrees horizontal.
What?
Flat.
No.
No. Oh wow, we seem to be surrounded by retards. Have you never used a compass? Cat got your tongue, retard. Hello, Dumbo. You never used a compass? I'm pretty sure they're flat.
I said, how big are the circles?
Why are you asking me a new question? Is it that you're scared of the horizontal degrees you appeal to? You appeal to south. Now, we're not going anywhere until we establish how flat in the horizontal south actually is. Do you understand or not?
What's your claim?
Oh, sorry. My claim is now azimuth. A minute ago it was the equator. Now it's Nathan's azimuth, right?
South.
So you think it's Nathan's azimuth, do you?
Beyond the equator, you haven't got a clue. You've
But
got
the equator,
nothing. You don't know anything.
Oh, I see. So now this man's appealing to the equator. Sorry, what was your issue with your equator you are now appealing to that's derived with flat Earth measurements of radial value?
Where would you put your southern?
Why are you asking me something new? It's like all the questions I ask get completely ignored. South is a degree from north horizontal.
South, Nathan.
Yeah, that's flat.
Where's the protractor
That's flat.
you need?
Sorry, that's flat. South is flat.
How do you know that?
What stuttery much? South's flat. It's a degree in the horizontal from north.
You said you have a protractor in the north. That is
Yeah, north is flat. That's 0 degrees in the horizontal.
Farthest to the equator that you describe as the biggest circle. So what is the protractor for the south? Where is that? And where's the center
Give
point
us
for
a
that?
timestamp.
We've already covered this. South's flat. You don't understand how azimuth works? Do you think it's my azimuth? Hello? South's flat.
So you don't know where the protractor
So
is.
I'm going to
for
be
this-
told what I don't know. You know who else had a problem with this in my comments section? McToon. McToon seemed to assert that just because you say azimuth is a horizontal degree doesn't mean it's true. No. It is definitely a horizontal measurement. It's called Nathan's azimuth? No, it's just azimuth. It's horizontal. Toon has appealed to flat Earth measurements of degrees from north in the horizontal. That's what azimuth is. It's not a claim, it's a fact. You're also appealing to it.
Nathan.
Oh, is this the third
That's
guy?
where you get an
Oh,
angle to-
just tell the audience what's happening. Obviously, his compadres have spotted how limp he's now become. And we've got a third dude that's now stepping in for Elder Bear.
about it. Don't worry, mate.
I'm
Don't
not
worry.
worried. Not in the slightest.
Hard-headed.
Sorry, we're going to talk amongst ourselves while Nathan points out how flat south is.
You're the only one adding Nathan to anything like azimuth or equator. Nobody else is, just you.
All right, okay. Where did I say it was mine?
What did I mean?
Where did I say that?
You're the one who's asking whether it's yours. Nobody else
that.
said it was yours.
Well, you are trying to ascribe it to me when you demand that I justify my opponent's claim, that I point out where they use flat Earth measurements for their claim
Flat
of the
Earth.
equator.
You measure flat Earth by measuring an angle to Polaris. You move 60 nautical miles or 69 statute miles on the flat ground, you said, from Polaris towards the equator. Or
That's right. You tell them, Edda Bear. You tell those ballers how flat they measure Earth for their equator. You tell them too. I'm glad you're on my side now, Edda Bear. I'm glad we can stand shoulder to shoulder, telling these ballers in the concise way you've just done how flat they measure Earth for their equator. I'm glad you can now summarise it as well as I.
yesterday, Nathan, about how you measure the Earth flat. Remember?
I haven't measured the equator. I'm a YouTuber. I'm not out making measurements. I mean, I have measured Earth perpendicular to a plane for altitudes of hills. I have done that in physical reality. I've made measurements of angles off a flat plane to derive heights of areas you've taken pictures from, parallel with the surface level. That's what I've done. Meanwhile, South's flat.
In FED 2316 at 30...
Can we sort this out? South's flat. Are we going to deal with this or not?
Hang on, you explain.
No, I'm not hanging on to anything. Toon has got a vested interest in it. He started commenting on yesterday's show. He's saying that it doesn't prove Earth's flat. No, it does. They're horizontal degrees, and I'm not going anywhere. That's all we're going to focus on. South being flat.
In FED 2316 at 33 minutes, you describe how the globe measurements came from flat Earth. You said they're the same.
They do. They do. Globe claim to be extractions, that's calculations, come from flat Earth measurements of elevation angles to Polaris, like you just summarised like 30 seconds ago.
Have a measurement for the equator.
Yeah, elevation angle is what my opponents appeal to when they measure their equator.
Now, you also say that miles are straight.
Do they? Maybe you need to talk to them then, rather than putting this at my door if they say this.
How?
Stuttery? How?
Earth being called the equator.
I don't call it that. That's my opponent's position. You're putting my opponent's position to me like it's mine. It's not.
Explain that, please.
I know, it's not mine.
You've already said it. You've said it. I gave you the timestamp. 2316 from 33 minutes.
Yeah, describing how flat our opponents measure their equator.
No, you were describing how that the globe measurements came from flat Earth.
So I'm a glober now? I see. So this dickhead thinks that I'm making claims about the globe.
Measurement?
I don't claim a globe. So you seem to be misunderstanding. If it's about a globe, that's definitely not my claim, Edibear. I'm not going to be justifying anything at your demand of what a globe does.
316. Refracted curvature agreed with you.
All right, now you're going to talk about someone else that isn't me. What about this South thing? You appeal to South.
The equator was 24,901 miles. Now, if miles are straight and linear...
They are, yes, that's correct. When we derive radial values for globe Earth believing equators, then yeah, they're straight and linear miles. That's correct.
Rectangular. Can you explain how a circumference of the equator...
No, that's not mine. I'm not going to justify anything to do with the equator. I think this is the 7th time I've pointed out that I don't have to. It's not mine. I'm not claiming it.
I've got the timestamp. Okay.
What, of me describing how an equator, not my equator, the equator, is derived? Yeah, with flat Earth measurements.
Measurements, all of them.
Yeah, flat Earth measurements. That's right, Ed.
Come from flat Earth measurements.
That's right, they do. They come from flat Earth measurements when they appeal to this concept that is not mine.
Everything comes from flat Earth.
That's right. Everything comes from flat Earth. Like on screen now, when you measure the sun with a flat Earth angle to it, or Polaris with a flat Earth angle to it to derive latitude and equators. Yeah, we measure Earth flat for all of these things. That's right. Anybody else?
You've never measured them. You said.
Well, why are you ascribing them to me then? If I've never measured them, why are you ascribing these concepts that are measured off a plane to me?
Your claim of measuring the Earth flat.
Yeah, they do. They measure it with elevation angles. I've got one diagrammatically exampled on screen for my audience. They can see how flat Earth is measured with the sun.
Yes, am
I being muted?
Flat.
Am I being muted again? Is it back to this? Beta muting. Yeah, I've got it on screen for my audience. Yeah, Earth's measured flat with elevation angles. This isn't mine, though. When I show this on screen, this isn't my elevation angle to the sun. It's just an elevation angle to the sun. Not mine.
No, it's yours, Nathan.
Not.
An angle is not a measurement of flat Earth.
It's on screen now, described with azimuth and altitude, specifically with respect to Earth and its measurements. That's what this is. It's from a navigation manual. Navigation being, according to Buck, it's beta mute time. It's from a navigation manual. It's about navigating Earth. We definitely measure Earth.
You have two protractors on your heliocentric flat Earth.
It's not mine. There we go. So we are off again with the it's a heliocentric flat Earth that I'm measuring. I'm not measuring a heliocentric
That's how you described
it. That's not mine.
You said the other day.
Not mine. Keep telling you.
Where there is a protractor above you.
Do you want to spit out a full sentence?
In the north, there's a protractor. In the south, there must be a protractor also, because the degree measurements go from 0 to 90 in the south. They must mirror the north. Can you describe how that works on flat Earth?
I will, if I can get a bit of clarity about what you've asked. Can I do that? Or are you scared of your own words? So
No,
south.
I'm not scared. It's just that you
Okay,
talk over me as soon
what's
as I
south?
speak.
Can you give me a bit of more when you say in the south? South being a flat direction, the one that Toon seems to think doesn't prove Earth's being measured flat in horizontal degrees. It is. That's what south is. Do you not understand what south, like Toon, an idiot, doesn't understand how flat and horizontal degrees of azimuth are? Do you understand that or not? Because you're asking me about it.
Well, you claim that. You claim that it's...
Oh, it's Nathan's azimuth! No, definitely not. This diagrammatical example on screen with the word azimuth written on it. This isn't mine. It is horizontal degrees from north. That's what it is. It's not mine. But my question's not being answered. Are you scared of the question? Do you not understand what south is?
Claim. That's your
Sorry. Oh, back to this. Azimuth is Nathan's. No, it isn't. Azimuth is a degree in the horizontal. Hey, Toon. Yeah? This would be you. No, it's not. It's Nathan's azimuth.
Your explanation of how you measure the Earth flat.
Yeah, with
That's
azimuth.
what I addressed in
Like
the
for south.
measured flat destructive dichotomy.
Maybe we'll get to discuss it. Maybe I'll be beta muted. Maybe I'll be beta muted and you'll stutter through me. South, right? What's south? Can you expand on that? You asked me about it.
Have a protractor. South is where you must have another protractor, Nathan. Can you
And is it
describe
horizontally orientated?
Your claim, I have no idea.
Back to this. Soon as we've got a flat Earth measurement, it needs to be Nathan's azimuth. It's not mine. I've not invented azimuth. It is factually horizontal, as diagrammatically exampled here from a celestial navigation manual. It's labelled azimuth. It's not mine. It doesn't say Nathan's azimuth on it. It is flat, though. Horizontal degrees from north. Hey, Toon, this is a flat Earth measurement, my friend. Same one you measured in Antarctica.
Well, azimuth, right? Azimuth is where you get an angle to a curve, isn't it?
I do. No, I don't measure this. I'm a YouTuber. My only purpose is to be here to say to this audience right now, please support me financially. The only reason these lights are on, I can absolutely destroy these cucks who lie about radii being bent, surface level having nothing to do with navigation tools on aeroplanes, altitudes 100 metre, end quote, has nothing to do with the surface. The reason I can absolutely humiliate these complete idiots is because of the generosity of people who I broadcast to, giving me money via things like PayPal and coffee. That's how I survive. I'm a YouTuber. I humiliate insignificant neckbeards with their idiot statements about things like flat Earth measurements of south. That's what I do for a living. I'm not measuring altitude. I'm not measuring azimuth. I don't need to. There's well-documented examples of it. I've got one on screen.
Yeah, well, I'm not humiliated. And, you know, you did describe to me, I remember when you spoke to me with Brian, when you describing the
Meanwhile, azimuth is a flat Earth measurement. I mean, we're going to go into the cockwaffle about Brian or some other non-related shite. Meanwhile, this is a measurement of Earth. It's called azimuth. Hey, Toon, you used this flat Earth measurement and then left me comments. Maybe we can read out Toon's comments next.
Is this your beta mute?
Yeah, this is me muting you. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Right? You have a straight longitude.
Well, then Earth must be flat.
Latitude. And when you want to get a bearing angle there,
Bearing's
at that
flat.
point, you're getting an angle from a curve.
Angle's flat. No, you can't get an angle from a curve. What kind of are you, Buck? Do you think that two straight lines meeting at a vertex is from a curve? No. We're measuring the baseline flat. Like south. Degrees from north is flat, straight. Can't bend azimuth. Can't bend angles. This is nonsense.
So north and south and east and west are perpendicular?
Yeah, they're flat. They're flat degrees from north. You've only got one absolute direction, and anything with respect to that is a degree from north. Horizontal only. Is this your beta mute?
Is east to west a
Is this
straight
your
line?
beta mute? Was it projection when you were asking me about me muting you when you are doing exactly that, you little beta? No, horizontal degrees from north are, what's the word? Horizontal! Now, everybody uses directions. That's why all the maps must be flat. Because otherwise they wouldn't work with directions. Horizontal only.
Are you saying latitude is perpendicular to longitude?
I'm saying latitude is a measurement from surface level with an angle you just suggested was a curve. Or angle from a curve, you say? That's idiotic.
Latitude is your east-west direction. It's a circle.
But east-west is also horizontal, flat, an orientation, a degree from north. That's what you're describing. Planar,
Way
flat,
to give
horizontal.
up your alias, Bear. Thank you.
And we're talking about getting.
We're talking about you stuttering much. We're talking about horizontal degrees of azimuth. This is how Toon would be stuttering if he was in my presence right about now, saying, just because you say horizontal degrees of azimuth doesn't mean they're horizontal degrees. Yeah, it does. It
Now,
absolutely means
Brian explained that you get an.
Toon tried to say that these weren't flat. You can bring in third parties, so can I. Yeah, Toon uses flat Earth measurements of degrees from north. It's called azimuth.
Do you
Horizontal.
remember Brian saying?
Do you remember Toon measuring the sun's azimuth? Cat got your tongue? Do you remember Toon measuring
To
azimuth?
get the azimuthal bearing.
Azimuth is flat. Yeah, azimuthal bearing. Yeah, that's flat. We're talking about horizontal degrees from north, aren't we?
It's not flat.
Oh, so you don't think horizontal degrees from north are flat? Do you think horizontal degrees are bent? Cat got your tongue, retard?
Said that you got an angle.
So are you going to talk about the horizontal angle now, or the horizontal azimuthal degree?
That's your claim.
No, horizontal azimuthal degrees are not my claim. It's depicted on screen. This is azimuth. It's the horizontal line. This is azimuth. It's not Nathan's azimuth. I don't see it. Can anyone else see Nathan before this word azimuth? No, it's the horizontal measurement. Like, I don't know, if you're going to measure the sun around you, the degrees from north that you're going to describe that with are horizontal. That's how it works. Horizontally. Now, if you're an idiot, you'll suggest that this has something to do with, I don't know, a curved surface.
Right.
It's wrong.
I said to Brian that if you're facing.
Why are you talking about what you spoke to another man? Is it because you can't cope with talking to me that you need to talk about other men?
It was you who said, how did you get an angle? How did you get 90 degrees? It was you who told me there was a curve there, and the east-west was a curve.
East-west is a degree from north. If you're going to describe how you move with respect to a compass, the degree that is pointing to north moves as you move. Conventions derived from north are east and west. They're just conventions.
It's a circle.
Am I being beta muted? Is the Discord server not hearing my responses about east and west curving? Are you not hearing me in Discord as I'm being beta muted?
We hear you talking over him.
I'll try again then. When you describe east or west, they are conventionally described and derived from north. They're conventions. North's the only absolute direction. East and west are conventions. Did you hear me? Flat.
You call them circles.
They're flat.
You call them circles.
They're flat. They're flat degrees in azimuthal direction horizontally, though, aren't they? They're flat.
We're talking about getting an azimuth.
No, we're not getting a response. Yeah, getting quite a lot of beta muting. We're talking about a horizontal convention, though, aren't we? Oh, is this guy number 4? Azimuth is horizontal. Diagrammatically exampled on screen while we get another guy, a 4th guy, cause a bit of audio chaos. Yeah. I mean, maybe if Muktoon was here, he'd need 4 guys to jump on top of me while I describe degrees from north. Yeah, these degrees from north are horizontal. No amount of beta muting is going to change this horizontality.
Eyes on you. That says something weird.
So, betas. Azimuth's horizontal.
Oh, is that a new guy now, Nathan?
East and west circles or not, bro?
Oh, sorry, we've got a limp dick Bear. Oh, has it all gone a bit flaccid, Bear? You need this other man to come in and sort you out, do you? While you watch. Oh, beaters, eh? Sad. Anyway, azimuth is horizontal.
Oh, dear.
Can you prove that?
Sorry, what's that, cuck? Is the gimp zipped back up? Is he now tied up to some post somewhere? Bear, the gimp. You cucking for?
Yeah, what's the necessary
why are you asking me something?
for an azimuth being a horizontal?
Yeah, because that means Earth's being measured flat with it. It's a horizontal only measurement. Therefore, Earth's being measured horizontal with this degree from north for directions. So when we travel around Earth and use this convention of directionality, Earth's being measured horizontally. That's flat.
Oh my gosh.
And are east and west circles or not?
Right, the degrees from north. I just dealt with this with the gimp you just stepped in for. All directions are conventions derived from north. You understand what that means? It's conventionally derived from a single direction. One direction, that's north.
Yeah, angles off circles? That's your claim, dude?
Sorry,
Are you-
horizontal angles of azimuth, you mean?
So you could take.
So you could ignore me. So let's just confirm we are talking about the same thing, the horizontal angles, right? That got your tongue, stuttery beta?
Oh, they're horizontal circles that you could take angles off of, bro?
So we've got horizontal measurements, that's right, yeah. Horizontal. Definitely flat. No deviation, because they can't be degrees in the horizontal unless they're flat. Yeah, that's right, we're talking about flat measurements.
90 degrees south.
So is this
It's just
guy
pi
number
equals
6?
two guy.
Is this guy number
Okay,
6?
so then your
So just for my audience, because I'm not going to tolerate the audio chaos when I've got a live audience who does want to hear the conclusion. So in conclusion, we've got a flat Earth measurement of horizontal azimuth degrees from north in the horizontal. So this is only applicable to a flat plane. It's a horizontal azimuthal degree. Flat Earth measurement.
It's not. It's not.
Oh, it's not on screen now for my audience. Azimuth described in the horizontal. It is, no matter beta muting and saying nuh-uh will change how horizontal azimuth is. It is. You just
A level is a point on the surface.
So maybe if you eat your mute and shout at me, maybe you just mute me while you yak through how horizontal you're denying azimuth is.
No, point.
Nah,
point.
you
No,
got
it's
with
not
him
point.
this morning.
Point, brother. Point. A point is on a circle. A point is also on a flat surface. All you have to do is take an elevation from a point on the circle.
Yeah, man, you boobaclat. That's right, we is measuring a flat circle. That is right, my Rastafarian friend.
Fun of people.
Circles can be.
That's right, the circle, man. It's a two-dimensional plane. Azimuthal horizontal. It is a flat plane, man.
Crazy.
Aight? Boomaclat. Circles be flat, man.
Oakley B's a bad guy.
Yeah, meanwhile, horizontal directionality. Hey, Toon, leave a comment under this video about how me just saying it changes it. Maybe there'll be 5 other people that'll pile in and cuck for you in the comment section while we describe flat Earth measurements of horizontal azimuth.
A globe. No, a point.
So much.
I'm standing on your flat Earth and I'm at the equator and I'm turning to the east. You know, do I have to keep walking in a circle?
Right, east is a flat Earth directionality that you've just described, though. It's a horizontal description, though, isn't it?
How the hell do I do a
Oh,
90
you're not acknowledging my
on a
response.
circle?
So you're asking about horizontal
question,
orientation, then. New guy, 7th guy.
Yeah, a point is a level.
Yeah, welcome to flat Earth. Yeah, when we're describing horizontal azimuth, we're describing level. That's correct.
You can get a horizontal azimuth from a.
Yes, we can. We can get it from a flat Earth only because it's horizontal.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yes, that's right. Horizontal azimuth. Yes.
You know why? You know why?
Because it's flat. Because Earth's flat. We're measuring it in flat horizontal orientation degrees from north in the horizontal. That's what they are. Why? Well, because it's flat. Do I need to justify it? Is it a claim? No, it's not a Nathan azimuth. It's just an azimuth horizontal degree.
Can I show you guys how to whip this guy's ass?
What maybe you could use the wrong direction fallacy, Rob.
It's a bully. That's all
You
he
want
is
to use
is
the
a bully.
wrong direction
No, I
fallacy.
know,
Tell me
but
the
I'm
south
a
down.
bully too, so that's why it works out good.
You're now the
Nathan Oakley,
8th
show me
guy
where
saying
90
it.
degrees south
A
is.
lot of limp dicks. A lot of other men doing their business for him. This is now Rob, the 8th contender.
And the
Go
best
for it,
one.
Rob. Go for it.
Go for it. My limp
Just show
dick
me-
needs
all he has to
definite
do is
assistance. Go for it, Rob. My dick's definitely gone completely flaccid. So I need you to step in on my behalf. Yeah, you're all beta cucks. Please, Rob, save me from my limp dick. You bunch of beaters.
Rob, you came in loud and
Rob, you stuttered. Yeah. Another guy. This is a different guy.
time, Nathan.
yeah.
We got all morning.
You can't answer it. He just talks over you and mutes you.
How
and
is your
then talks to
YouTube
his
doing,
friends.
by the way, bro?
So how's my YouTube doing? Pretty well. I mean, I've been paying my mortgage. I say mortgages. I've got 2 of them from this channel. I've been consistently paying it. Occasionally, it's a struggle. I have to sell things like microphones and write books. But generally speaking, it's kept the mortgage paid for about the last 10 years.
90
Pretty well.
South, Nathan. Focus. 90 South.
And 90 south, that's a degree in the horizontal.
Rob's
It's a degree in the
Yeah,
horizontal.
can you point to it on a map? Can you show it to
How
me
many
on a
people
map?
am I talking to?
13.
90? 180, I think he
97.
means, but there we go. South 180 degrees
Yeah,
from north. It's a degree in the horizontal. Flat Earth measurement.
I can't see it. Where'd you put it?
You don't understand azimuth because you had to look it up when we asked you about the compass last time in azimuth. You had to go and look it up. You read it out. Degrees from the horizontal.
I didn't look it up.
Yeah, beta mute. Degrees from the horizontal, end quote, Rob Noxious, the guy now speaking. He described it explicitly as degrees in the horizontal when he defined it because he didn't know what it meant and had to go and look it up.
It's irrelevant to my question, though. That's irrelevant. My question is, can you show me where 90 degrees south is?
Right, 90 degrees south. You're describing azimuth and altitude. So what I'm being asked about is two systems simultaneously. Coincidentally, the one that's been on screen this entire time. So azimuth would be degrees in the flat Earth horizontal, and altitude would be perpendicular to a plane in the vertical. Like this diagram that's on screen describing azimuth and altitude. I mean, maybe while I explain it to the live audience, I can get beta muted by a load of cucks who are asking me about it. Shockingly, I've got diagrammatical examples that are literally on screen while these mumbling bunch of cucks all chat skank through the top of what I've literally got on screen while I'm being asked about it. Just by pure coincidence. It's on screen, Rob, for my audience.
Nathan, please answer the question.
I did, with a diagrammatical example on screen for you, my audience. Azimuth and altitude, both axiomatically in requirement of a flat plane. Azimuth and altitude are flat Earth measurements.
Oh, okay, I'm not muted anymore. So if I give you
the problem. Hold on 1 second, Rob.
Hold on, Rob. I can see you getting a bit flaccid there, mate. Let me step in and do this business for you. Your wife can watch.
Hey, what's going on?
He just talks to everybody.
Yeah, Buck's getting annoyed when he gets called a cuck, and now Rob's getting annoyed when he gets called a cuck. Or, as the case may be, is being cucked for. Yeah, eat that mic, Rob. Yeah, you're all cucks. You're all doing each other's business. Like beaters, that's what you do. Beaters.
To his audience, when his microphone's on his YouTube channel, all the other audio doesn't come through.
Yeah, that's right. When I run my show, I will be heard by my audience. Oh no, we should be able to talk through you and beta mute you.
Nathan.
Yeah, you should be able to in your
Nathan.
mind when you deny how horizontal axioms are. Yeah, you can try and just chat skank through. I can control of that.
You chat skank through everybody.
Eat that mic. Yeah, eat that mic while that little cuck comes and saves you, Rob.
You literally did it right now. As I told you were chat skanking, you chat skanked.
Oh, that's really interesting. Meanwhile, elevation angles for altitude are from surface level flat. Azimuth, as depicted on screen in this diagrammatical example, is with respect to a flat horizontal plane. That's how it's working. Diagrammatically exampled. You can see it.
But why is there a 90 degrees south?
Well, because we measured latitude.
Why do we have a 90 degrees south?
South is
Where
flat.
the hell does that come from?
So you keep asking me these questions like they somehow change how flat south is. Do you understand what south is,
Yeah, but
sir?
where do you get...
Stuttery! I'm asking you, in your question is south. Now I'm asking, in response, do you understand how flat south is or not?
Why is there a 90 degrees south?
So he's just going to repeat the question. So included in your question is a requirement for an azimuthal horizontal directionality. South. So in response, okay, so I'm being asked about something south. So south being a flat earth direction. Do you understand or not?
Yeah, but how does...
Yeah, I understand how flat south is.
Yeah.
But answer my question anyway. Well, why? Earth's measured flat with south. South's flat.
It's coming from the curved circle of the equator, he's saying. So he takes a circle of the equator that's curved, right, to east and west, and then he takes angles off it, and he could get 90 degrees to the north. So you could take angles off curved circles, apparently.
Well, no.
This is Torah for you, Nathan.
Azimuth is
He's
not
the pi
described
equals
from
2
the...
guy.
Azimuth isn't with respect to the equator. It's with respect to north. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the equator. You're just wrong.
Okay,
Azimuth.
yeah, and then if
Stuttery! You're just wrong. Azimuth is not with respect to the equator. Idiot. You're just making up shite because you don't know what you're talking about.
Why, when they create...
Now another guy's got to step in. So you've got one cuck who's wrong about what he's asserting. New cuck comes in. Hello, equator, south, you say? No, it's degrees from north. That's what azimuth is. It's flat. To ask me about south requires you axiomatically accept how flat south is. Or not. I mean, we can do this all day. I don't mind. South's flat. No, no response. I'll conclude, as cat's got the tongue of many cucks and beaters. South is a flat earth orientation. It's a direction from north. There's a load of sweat pours into my eyes. It's absolutely boiling here.
So when they created
Nathan,
the system and they made 90 the equator, why didn't they continue with the 100th degree and the 200th degree beyond the equator? Why did they start going in a negative direction?
Go and ask. Why don't you go and ask
to smaller numbers again?
Well, if your question never ends.
Where did that come from?
They, you say? Are they me?
The system
that I created. This is mine, right?
80 degrees.
So is this mine?
South of,
He's deaf.
the
He's deaf.
equator.
He's deaf.
Why isn't it?
Deaf. I heard you the first 4 times you asked.
100
South.
degrees.
My God, I heard you the first 4 times. You didn't respond when I pointed out the south's a flat direction. Now you're asking me about a system because they... Is that me? My response. You've ignored how flat south is. Okay, I'm just going to have to accept it and move on. You can't accept the flatness of south. Okay, it doesn't change how flat azimuth is when you describe south. Meanwhile, you've now got a new question about a system. That's not mine. Ask them, the they you refer to. That's not me.
Explain,
Come and
why
paint
on
my
a
house.
flat Earth?
Come and paint my house. I demand it. Come and paint my house.
Beyond the
Come and paint my
equator.
house. Just, you think because you're a beta cuck in a Discord server, you can make demands about a system I didn't create. This isn't mine. But South, the thing you've repeatedly appealed to, maybe you could beta mute me. Beta muting is just as good as winning, I suppose. South, you haven't acknowledged how flat that is. But now you want to ask me about a system that's not mine. It's not mine. I didn't create this.
You have not acknowledged how curved it
dear,
is.
this is a new 9th cuck.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, south is flat. Just so the audience understands why a new man has stepped in to cuck for the old guy. He's asked me about a system that's not mine. If you want to know about south of the equator, what's the equator? Oh, a global derivation from a flat earth measurement. Yeah, that's right. Is it Nathan's? Definitely not.
I know it's not yours.
But don't ask me about it then. Why are you asking me about it? Come and paint my house.
You would need to use a numbering system
You might
that
be
gets
able
smaller
to.
Beyond the equator.
That's not mine. I keep telling you. Okay, what, the equator? A flat Earth derived value measured with Polaris? That equator that you are appealing to for your models that are measured flat to achieve? That equator?
Why would a system that is...
Why are you asking me? You just seem to want to continually burn this straw, man.
Guys, I'm just going to moderate really quick. We need to have people going one at a time. We can't have several people speaking at the same time. If that happens, it's just audio chaos.
Indeed.
So if you guys want to go back and forth, we'll just do one person back and forth. That'll function a lot better than like 3 people speaking to one person, or one person speaking to one person, both people interrupting each other. So we need to go one at a time. Just try to do that. Just simple conversation, ethical stuff.
Sounds good.
I appreciate that.
I'll try to go last then, because if I go first, I'll just destroy him and there won't be nothing left. So I don't mind going last.
No worries. We'll just conclude about what
any
we were
flat earther
being asked
answer that
about. So
question
I was
about
being asked about
why
a
the numbering
system that I
system
have
does
not
that way?
invented. So immediately it's beta mute immediately. I've been asked repeatedly about a system. I've been asked about the system, but I'm the one getting beta muted after the moderator has specifically asked not to do that. I'm going to respond to you.
What is beta muted?
When you talk through me talking,
I'd
like
rather,
now,
like,
this
one
is me
person-
attempting to respond to the guy, and I'm hearing lots of other people's voices. That's beta muting.
Yeah, just real quick, Nathan. I'd like it to be one at a time, and also maybe we can do one-on-one, so it's not several people chiming in on each side or several people chiming in at one person. So one at a time, and maybe just like a conversation style thing.
I got you.
Where just like a back and forth.
I understand.
Just so we can all have like a good fruitful discussion, right?
Gotcha. So you're saying to the other guys, don't cuck for each other. Yeah, I agree.
Well, let's be like somewhat polite, but yeah, okay, let's,
Yeah, don't cuck for each other. One at a
Why
time.
does he like the word cuck so much?
Because that's what you guys are doing.
Because he's a cuck.
Hey, Nathan, some of the leading flat
I can hear
earthers,
three voices.
they're,
Three voices.
working on
Three men
flat
doing
earth
the work
models.
of one. It's a
They
bit like
understand
cooking.
the importance
a bit like
of a
cooking.
model and a
I had
map.
three voices. I haven't responded to the guy who put a model to me. Still haven't been heard. The moderator stepped in. Now I'm hearing three cucks. I'd like to respond to the guy that asked me to justify 90 degrees south of an equator measured off a flat Earth. So he's asking me about a convention derived from a flat Earth linear distance in a radial value that cannot bend, measured off a flat Earth with elevation angles that aren't mine. Are you hearing me, Edda Bear? Are you listening?
I never
He's
said they were
appealing to
yours.
this equator.
I
It's not
never,
a straw
ever
man.
said they
Oh
were
my
yours.
God. Beta muting. Oh, maybe you could just
lie
lie
about
about
me
it. Yeah, I'm in the
saying
middle of
they're
responding
yours.
to the
I
guy.
never said-
I know, it seems, moderator, they don't respect you at all. I'm going to have to get this sweat out my eye anyway.
They're not. The word is not cock, guys. It's cock.
C-U-C-K.
You understand what it means?
Yes, sir, we understand.
But don't do it then.
Okay, so this system of measuring the Earth has a numbering system. And my question is really, why did the system, whoever created it, what is the logical reason for them going to lower numbers when you go beyond the equator? Why is that a thing?
What direction are we
I
going
know you
beyond the
didn't create
equator?
the system.
Okay, so
I'm
let's
not
just...
saying you created it. I just want to know why it's a
I
thing.
heard your question. You just don't shut up once you're finished. Tell me when you're done.
Yeah, the equator's zero, dude.
Man number two. Dude
The
number
numbers
two.
go up from
Moderator, that's dude number two. I was asking if he'd finished. He didn't respond. Have you finished? Will your question continue as I respond to it?
Go.
I need your permission. I need you to answer me if you finished or not. Why another cuck causes audio chaos. The moderator probably won't shut up the second guy. We'll just keep hearing him. So you have finished with your question about a system I didn't create, right? You finished your question.
I have finished about the system you didn't create.
Jolly good. So the system that you've asked me about included specific reference to something called the equator. Now that is a value derived from flat Earth measurements of surface level. So to have this convention you're asking me about requires Earth be measured flat to create that convention. So before we move forward, that's an orientation on a flat plane, we need to establish that you understand you're asking me about a convention, the equator, that is measured from Earth's surface, flat, with elevation angle minimums to Polaris. It's the minimum that you can measure the angle to Polaris. That's the convention you're asking me about. And you're asking me about something that I have no influence over. I didn't create this system.
I know you didn't have an influence over it. I've never said that you did.
So can you answer what I've put back to you then? Okay. I don't need confirming.
What the
I've asked you.
logic is.
Okay, Sky, don't mute me. I haven't finished. I asked you, do you understand that the radial value for your equator is measured from a flat Earth or not?
I know that's what you say, but I want to understand why the numbering system starts at the equator as being zero, and then goes greater numbers above the equator or to the north of the equator, and greater numbers to the south of the equator. Why didn't they choose the North Pole as being zero and work just outwardly, and a point below the equator would be in the hundreds and 200s and so on?
Yeah, I heard you the first... Oh, your question is going to continue. Yeah, I heard you pause. It was the end of the same question. Now he's talking again. So when you do finish your question, you do feel the need to pause and then carry on the question. I heard you the first three times you asked me. Guy, moderators, this guy's a wanker. I'll try again. Fourth time. The system you're describing, number one, you keep asking me about what they did when they created this system. Why don't you go and ask them? Meanwhile, I will point out that part of your question includes measurements of a radial value for the equator. You said that's your claim. Okay, I'll say it for a fifth time. This is not my claim. The radial value you are asking about a they that isn't me and how they created this system still absolutely unequivocally requires a flat Earth derived radial value. It's derived from, and I exampled it all 4 of the other times I answered you, with a flat Earth elevation angle minimum to Polaris. That's what this convention is. So, for the 6th time, do you understand, not respond with, well, that's your claim, how the radial value for the convention you're asking about, that's equator, was measured, rather than suggesting that's my claim of an equatorial minimum derived from Polaris measurement, because that's a fact as opposed to my claim about how we derive this Polaris-based minimum. That's how it's done. Now, either we can move forward with you accepting how flat Earth is measured for this radial value, or you can say, no, that's just your claim, and then I can take you through how we derive this value for your system and the they who got it. Do you understand how flat Earth was measured for the equator or not?
Well, I do know why they come up with this numbering system. I just don't understand how you don't understand that the numbering system was created for a sphere and not for a flat Earth.
I see.
That's why the numbering system is orientated the way that it is.
I heard you.
And you're sitting there saying it was made for a flat Earth, but it was actually made for a sphere.
Measured from a flat Earth. How do you measure latitude? Go.
I don't measure latitude at all.
Oh, well, then let's just end the conversation. This guy doesn't understand how latitude's measured. It's measured with respect to... Okay, so you don't measure it, so keep talking, right? Earth's measured flat for latitude. It's an elevation angle to Polaris. That's how it's measured. Flat Earth measurement.
Somebody decided when they were creating this system...
What, the flat Earth measurement system?
The equator was going to be 0. And beyond the equator, the numbers were going to get higher. And whichever direction you went away from the equator, the numbers were going to get higher. Okay. So my question is, why would they do that?
Why don't you ask them?
Polaris,
you keep asking me, bloody hellfire. The system 290 is formed with an angle measurement of Polaris. That's a flat Earth measurement.
That's what you're saying. You're saying...
It's not what I'm saying. That's how it's measured. It's an angle to Polaris from the surface level. That's what it is.
So you're saying if I'm 10 degrees...
I don't think he gets it.
North of the equator, I'm measuring what degree to Polaris?
Sorry, degree being... Sorry, do you know what a degree measurement is? So an elevation angle measurement from surface level, right?
Elevation for surface level.
Right, that's a flat Earth measurement. On screen, diagrammatically exampled now, is the flat Earth prerequisite surface level altitude angle to the sun. It's not Polaris, but it's the exact same principle. It's a flat Earth measurement of an angle. That's what it is. So we finally got there. You finally understand that we're measuring flat Earth angles to Polaris then?
But the
Stuttery! Oh my God! Why do these globe cucks have absolutely no humility? You just need to say, yes.
I think you're talking around me on this.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about elevation angle as diagrammatically exampled on screen now. That's a diagrammatical example of what we are measuring. It's an angle.
Yeah, but you're not...
Yeah, but. So we get... That's the best concession we get. Yeah, but. Yeah, but we're measuring Earth flat for this. Yeah, we are.
And not have 90 at the equator. Why would they do that if the important place...
Ask them! Meanwhile, the Polaris-based system that reaches its minimum when Polaris disappears beyond its limit, its minimum, the equator, why do they derive a system that doesn't include Polaris after that fact? I don't know. It's not mine. Keep telling you.
Actually, it could be seen a couple
the weird
degrees
thing.
beyond.
Sorry, another dude got another cuck come for this limp dick guy with his weak voice. Peter, you got cuck on your behalf. Can you hear him? Did you not hear the moderator saying, don't cuck for each other? Yeah, I can hear another cuck cucking, can't I? Limp dick.
Yeah, it was correcting the false info.
I know, you needed to cuck. You saw how limp his cock got and you felt the need to step in and start fucking for him. I get it. Yeah, you've been told not to do that though, haven't you, little cuck?
Polaris can be seen.
So we're now talking to a new cuck. So can we just establish that the guy with his limp dick is now stepping away from the bed? Yeah, we know. Limp dick needs a new contender to help him. Okay, we're done with you, limp dick. Polaris is measured flat from a plane. On-screen altitude
My dick
angle
is
from a
not
flat
limp, it's
surface
rock
level.
hard.
I just got beta muted while I was summarising the facts in the matter. Yeah, Polaris is how we derive these elevation angles for the latitude system. Why did they continue to use a system when you can't see Polaris is essentially what I'm being asked. When we go south, a flat Earth direction. I don't know, I didn't create this system. It's not mine, I have no responsibility for this shit. But when we can see Polaris, we measure Earth flat with it. What about when we can't? I don't know, I didn't create that system.
Looks like a grenade disconnected.
Okay, you may have not created it, but you are arguing for it and you are presenting it as fact.
No, I'm not. This is not my argument. This is not my system. I didn't develop latitude. I don't appeal to it. I don't suggest the degrees on a ball are the surface. That's not my claim. Rob Noxious is a liar, a scumbag, a bit like Ed Bear, who needs to misrepresent my position, like when I point out how that limp dick cuck that just got spoken for by Rob and another dude used latitude and south. Those aren't my claims. I wasn't appealing to them like Rob is now lying about me.
Oh, you are.
You're lying about me.
You are appealing. You're appealing to the.
Did I appeal to this system and they? Was that me? No, Rob's just a lying scumbag. That's what you got to do if you're a globe believer. You need to lie and misrepresent about how I steelman your position. Like it's mine.
Being toxic.
Wrong.
I'm not going to get triggered. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to do
Gally
right
said,
you.
hey, we're going to have a good environment, respectful environment.
So while these cucks argue amongst themselves about who's going to fuck next, I'll just summarise. This is not my position. When I steelman a globe opponent's position with latitude, like they have measured, that's not me. Rob's now lying through his back teeth about this being my position.
How am I lying? I'm just.
How are you lying? You're saying that the system of latitude appealed to by the limp dick that's now not talking anymore is mine. No, definitely not mine. You're a liar.
One-on-one.
I'm not lying.
Take turns.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of audio chaos while I point out that this isn't my system that's measured flat. It's definitely not mine when I steelman their position. But Rob's got to lie and say it is. That's what's happening.
Okay, first of all, you didn't let me get what I was saying out. Why don't you stop?
You said it was my position. I then took a giant steaming dump and called you a liar, which you are. You lie about all sorts of things. You lied about TikTok views. Now you're lying about how I steelman your position. You have got a latitude system around your globe that you appeal to with your equator and your use of flat Earth measurements to get you there. It's not my claim. You just have to lie about me.
Burn. I know. I come to give you your medicine, Nathan Oakley. I have come with the azimuthal facts that you claim every day.
Not my claim. From a celestial navigation manual on screen for my audience. This is not mine. Absolutely, unequivocally, definitely not mine. Rob's just got to incessantly lie about me.
So therefore, it is your claim.
Not my claim. This is not my diagrammatical example. When asked if this is mine, I say no. When asked if I'm using a particular tool I haven't used, I don't lie and pretend I've used a bubble sextant. I say no. When somebody appeals to the equator, I say that's not mine. When someone tries to steelman me as though I've suggested I've got Nathan's equator or Nathan's azimuth, I get very angry because it's what ballers have to do when they lose. They lie. Their losing azimuthal flat directionality is suddenly mine. No, you are the ones appealing to this, not me.
And he doesn't want to talk about it because he's going to have to answer some questions about the azimuthal projection thing the measurements that he brings to the table.
I don't bring any azimuthal directions to the table. I've made that explicitly clear. Rob is now continuously lying about me.
Will allow you to pinpoint. Using azimuthal angles, you can pinpoint any place on Earth. You can.
Earth's flat then. Azimuthal directionality is horizontal. If you're going to suggest that we can pinpoint our direction, then we're using it horizontal. That's a flat Earth direction.
Can you show that to me in reality?
It's on screen now. Yes, I can. I can show it to my audience. It's on screen. You can see it's labelled azimuth. It's horizontal. Altitude's perpendicular in the vertical. It's a flat Earth system of azimuth and altitude. It's just not mine.
The sun, you would be able to know the distance to the sun. So I asked Nick.
No, wouldn't. We're measuring altitude angles. They're not elevations. Elevation is your measurement from sea level. Altitude angle is the degree with respect to the horizon. It's not its altitude. Now he's just straw manning the claim that I haven't made. That's the ultimate reason for them ascribing this to me. So they can strawman their use of their angles from their planar surfaces, like I have responsibility for them, and the failings in altitude described that I'm not using from a model I've not claimed.
Topic.
I got him, dude. He wants to talk azimuthal, dude. Then you can pinpoint and show locations if we give you degrees, but you can't do that.
Horizontal degrees.
I don't care if the horizontal...
You don't, do you? Yeah, I do. See, when we prove Earth's flat with their claims, in this case Rob's claim of azimuthal pinpoint locations and directionality, that's Rob's claim of azimuth that's flat. But when I point out how flat it is, what's the response?
Prove
I don't
it
care.
and show us where it's
He'll
at.
eat his mic and beta mute me. Yeah, he will, because he doesn't care about flat Earth measurements. He only cares about the consensus.
Just show me where things...
Show me where you stutter, you little bitch. I'll show you where you stutter like a little beta cuck getting annihilated with your own measurements that you guys need to be mine when they fail. They're not. Azimuth is flat, though.
No. Cool. Azimuth is flat on a plane, but guess what?
Yeah, that's right. Azimuth is flat on a plane. That's how we find our way. On Earth with azimuth. Flat on a plane.
Hey, cool. If you say that 1,000 more times...
I didn't. You said it. Again, immediate projection. He says, and I quote, flat on a plane. End quote him. If you say it, Nathan, no, that's 100% pure projection.
The horizontal plane is an angular measurement of direction from an object to the target. So
an angular direction in the horizontal then? Yeah, that's right. Earth's measured flat with azimuth. Thank you for defining it, Rob. That's correct. Earth's measured flat.
Find distances. You just agreed with me, but yet you can't find us a location if we give you a degree. Why?
Yeah, we can. We use celestial navigation for that. When we measure radial values in flat linear miles on a flat surface, that's how we find our directions. That's how we find our position. That's called navigation. We also use flat radial values for that, like the flat radial value of your equator.
Number direction. Why can't you put it on a map for us?
I'm not a cartographer.
That's a simple question. I don't need to know about celestial. I don't need to know about all the other stuff. I need to know where the spot's at.
You don't need to know about any of this stuff. You are utterly inconsequential, and so am I. It doesn't make any difference how I measure this stuff. It's not mine. That's how it's been measured, though, flat.
Again,
stuttery little bitch. Yeah, that's right. Doesn't matter if I understand it, you understand it, if you disagree with it. Azimuth's still flat.
You're totally deflecting it.
You're deflecting from azimuth. No, it's a degree from north in the horizontal. I'm not deflecting from anything.
It's some new material. You're running away from the fucking the question. The question.
I swear it be. Yeah, Earth's measured flat in horizontal azimuth.
Guarantee, if I put $1 billion somewhere on Earth and I told you to find it through your measurements, you would.
This is a complete red herring, completely inconsequential. Whether or not this man lays down £1 million for me, I'm really poor. I'd love £1 million. You know, I could do a lot with that. But that doesn't change how flat azimuth is.
He either can't. What's going on?
I want to hear him say he can't do it. I want to hear him say he can't and stop pretending like he can. He doesn't know anything about.
Do you feel his request is like too much?
Or so to you, just so we're clear, we're dealing with a couple of
horizontal part that you're going to be
cucks.
Oh, I know. Here on the personal text.
Sorry.
But there's 2 of you now, 3. This is just a fact. You are a bunch of beta cucks. You don't have to like it. That's what's happening. I'm pointing out how azimuth's flat, and I can hear 3 men's voices all at the same time.
I mean, we can't force them.
No, I like the.
It is what it. No, you made your point.
You hear that? That's the sound of a cuck, a beta neckbeard cuck. You know, you don't have to like these facts. When Rob has his ass handed to him, another man steps in because his dick's gone all limp.
Let's go back to Nathan's role playing. Nathan, back to your show, bud. Back to your show.
Listen.
Okay, back to my show. Earth's measured flat. In this case, azimuth.
Because he can't. How far is the sun? How high is the sun in the sky, Nathan?
How high is not, bro? There's even more simpler. Like even put where the sun is. Where the sun is over the flat Earth. Like you gotta have a map for that. Like he's not even posting that.
I don't want simpler. I want to use his things against him. I'm not going to make up some new stuff where he can just say, I'm going to use his direct words against him. He says that these things are in his reality, what he uses, the azimuthal projection angles and all this other stuff. If you go with what he's using, he can never answer anything.
Can I just point out to my audience that literally about 2 minutes ago, Rob defined what azimuth was. Now he wants it to be mine, even though he went to the dictionary and defined it again.
You use it. I didn't.
You defined it. You're the one who literally defined it about 2.5 minutes ago, though, aren't you, Rob? You're the one who defined this, so it's yours.
Cool. Well, me and you. This is the great thing about it. Me and you don't get to define it. It's already defined.
That's right. I don't have any bearing on how flat azimuth is, and neither do you. None of us do. Nobody here in this so-called debate has any influence whatsoever on how flat Earth is measured with azimuth. None of us have any influence over it. It is just flat regardless.
Oh. Okay. Again, it's not. So.
Okay. So response, it's not. Yeah, it is. Azimuth is a degree in the horizontal from north. It is absolutely unequivocally used by all for directionality, and it is unequivocally flat. A nutter isn't going to cut it. It's on screen, by the way.
This is true.
Yeah, I know it's true. That's why I'm annihilating you bunch of globe cucks as you all cuck for each other. It's on screen now, diagrammatically example, just in case anybody was unaware of how flat azimuth is. I've had it on screen the entire time so my audience can see exactly how flat Earth is being measured with azimuth. It's just not mine.
Why do you say that to people, though? And now we're muted as he lies to his audience. We're not.
No, nobody's getting muted. What I'm describing is azimuth. It's just being ascribed to me incorrectly.
We can't see anything he's showing on Earth Awakenings. In Earth Awakenings, we don't know nothing because he doesn't show us anything because he can't, because he knows a guy.
I don't have to. I keep pointing out that it's inconsequential whether or not you understand this. It is just what it is. You've defined it because it's not your or my or our definition. It just is flat, though. That's how we measure Earth for directions.
No, you're using it for fucking Nefari.
I'm not using it for anything. Again, we're back to this shite where I'm suddenly using it. I'm a YouTuber. I do this. I'm making YouTube videos for an audience. Smash the super chat if you're watching this. That's how I keep going with people who are generous. Not people like Rob who would rather have my channel shut down and my ability to feed my kids taken away from me. Those kind of people want to ascribe azimuth to me.
You can't be the bench player and then be the godfather at the same time.
But being a bench player or godfather won't change azimuthal horizontality now, will it?
This isn't about Nathan Oakley.
Oh, we can hear another cuck. I've been called a bench player? No, we're describing horizontal azimuth, so we need a new cuck to step in. What's that, moderator? We need to take it one at a time here. I thought I was talking to Rob. No, you're all cucks and beaters.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? We're all cucks and beaters, huh?
Absolutely, without question. You're all cucks and beaters, all clamouring to get on the same bed. That's what you're all doing. While you ascribe the responsibility for equators, altitudes, altitude angles, azimuth, degrees in the horizontal to me, like they're mine.
I was just about to download a YouTube.
Oh, is this a ninth
now
voice?
He's making his rounds. He's making his rounds because he wants to be known, because he knows what's happening. No one's going to his shit no more. So now he has to go out and then in the real world again. And he's going to get tore up because the Earth.
So this has no bearing on anything, right? I've got 70 people watching plus. Great, wonderful. Smash the super chat, hit the PayPal link. This ad hominem attack won't change how azimuth is horizontal.
Never debated anybody ever in 10 years.
I'm debating you right now with azimuth.
This is a fucked up conversation.
No, it's just a degree in the horizontal from north. It's horizontal. It's azimuth. It's not a fucked up conversation. It's just you losing really badly.
He hasn't been muting.
Motherfucker, I'm watching his show at the same time. He mutes us, and then he talks to his audience as we talk behind him.
Oh, well, I mean...
Wake up, Glory. Where the fuck you been for 8 years?
My comment was about Discord. He's not muting people on Discord, so...
He doesn't even talk in Discord. You'll never see Nathan Oakley talk in any of these Discords he comes.
Just for my audience's benefit, Rob Noxious is in Discord. I am talking to him about his use of azimuth that he defined.
Where? I'm scrolling up. I don't see one Nathan Oakley chat in Discord. In Earth Awakening's Discord's live stream text. I don't see one person saying Nathan Oakley does not exist in here. People are tagging you. People want to talk to you, but you won't. Why don't you tell the truth ever? Can you ever tell the truth? Do you tell that the left foot is your right foot and the right foot is your left foot?
Total lie. I've never said my left foot is my right foot and my right foot is my left foot. Just making up shit to accuse me of being a liar. So if you haven't got something to actually level at me, level being a planar surface derivative, then you'll suggest that I've suggested my left foot is my right foot. Basically, make up lies about me.
Shape of the Earth.
You're making up lies about me, isn't he?
But the topic of the shape of the Earth does.
Sorry, well, I was just accused of saying my left foot's my right foot. That's just a lie, isn't it?
Yeah, because you want to.
Yeah, so why would I have any respect for these people? They just make up lies about me continually. When they lose, no, I'm not a liar. You're a liar. You've just made up another lie. It's the third one in this session.
Know that we're not watching your stream. We're in Earth Awakening. So
You just said literally 2 minutes ago, I'm watching his stream on YouTube. That's what you literally said 2 minutes ago.
when you know we can't see it, that's a lie, Glory. Okay, that's not our. I'm sorry, Nathan. That's a lie, dude. So you can't say that I'm making things up. I'm the one not lying here.
So did I say my left foot's my right foot and my right foot's my left foot? Can you give me a timestamp where I've said that, please?
No, that was an implication. That was.
So you mean a lie? So when you say I've said my left foot's my left foot, my right foot's my right foot, it's an implication, aka I didn't say it. That's a lie. That's called a lie.
I didn't literally mean that you said.
Oh, you didn't literally mean that those were the words you said I said. Yeah, that's what liars do. Lie. You're a liar.
Your point. Maybe in England, the English is.
Maybe we could argue about how big a liar Rob Noxious is. Yeah, we know he's a liar. All of you are. Buck Sodbuster, demonstrated liar. Radii values and arc distance. Wrong. Total lie. Surface level, 100 meters off it. Not anything to do with the surface level. Total lie. 14 times he denied that celestial navigation and the processes therein had anything to do with the surface. Until I started saying it's nothing to do with your surface, then he wanted it to be the surface again. That's measured flat, with downward vectors perpendicular to a plane of reference. That's how we measure Earth, like horizontal degrees of azimuth. That's how we measure Earth. What they're now doing is making up complete crap about things I haven't said, a subterfuge to distract from how flat Earth is measured by them for their models, like the equator, like azimuth. Their measurements they use: distance, altitude, surface level, sea level, perpendicularity. All of these are their measurements, not mine.
Here, here.
Well, it's been fun. Thank you very much for having me.
Man reorders nature, okay? Nature doesn't need man to order it. Nature has its own system of operating, and it always takes care of itself. So man comes into nature, designed to match to nature, and then he reorders things. So we have both worlds to contend with: the natural world that doesn't need any fixing, and the reordered world that always needs fixing.
But did you have a point?
I made the point.
Okay, you freaking hippie. Thanks very much.
Well, I'm born to it.
Give you that timestamp, Nathan,
I was actually born. I was born to a real
Nobody
hippie.
asked. Nobody gives a crap. Nobody asked you where you were born or what you are. Nobody gives a crap about you. Why are you giving us your resume statement like anybody cares?
I'll tell you what. I just blew your fucking head off.
Nobody gives a crap. Nobody gives a two shites about you or your resume. You just started to rattle off what you've done like anybody cares. Nobody cares.
My ears are fucking cringing with the sound of your angry gay voice.
Oh, that's really interesting. Thanks so much, you open toe sandal wearing
you,
hippie.
you fucking demon.
Wait until he starts fisting you.
Can I give you that timestamp, please, Nathan?
Nah, I'm all right. Thanks.
FED 2573 from 33 minutes, where you clearly explain how you measure the Earth flat and how the equator is the biggest circle on flat Earth. Just for anybody else who wants to check it out.
So what you're saying is I've pointed out how the equator, a global suggestion, is a flat Earth measurement. Yeah, I do. I do that very regularly. Why would I deny that? Yeah, we do. Measure Earth flat for the equator.
So you explained that that's how you measure the Earth flat.
That's correct. Yeah, we measure Earth flat for the equator. It's not mine. That doesn't suddenly make it mine, though.
It is yours. Yeah.
Oh, it is? Oh, my bad. I forgot. Nathan's equator.
What about this?
What about you stutter at me while you again, for the 8th time, attempt to burn this straw man where you make my opponent's position I steal, man, my claim of Nathan's equator?
Why can't? Should we just?
I can't. Shall we just stutter? Yeah. You can't even spit out a coherent sentence, Edabear.
Where will we pin the protractor in the south on flat Earth?
I'm not going to be doing any of those things. I'm a YouTuber. I'm not going to be doing that.
Why is he coming back?
Well, you've got it from the north. You have a protractor for the north.
Well, as in the flat Earth horizontal directionality, 0 degrees, flat.
Yeah. So it must.
Yeah, that's right. Earth's flat when we describe north. That's right. Hey, Toon, this is you. Yeah, this is what would be happening to you. North's
what would
flat.
be happening to me?
The same thing that's happening to you while I point out how flat North is.
Can't answer it.
North's flat.
North is flat. Well,
That's right.
it's your measurement. Your.
Oh, it's my North! It's Nathan's compass as soon as it's flat. That's just a compass. Azimuth's fairly well established. It's definitely not mine.
Strangely enough, 33 minutes on 2316 where you gave the distance for the equator.
Yeah, so when I describe the distance that is used by ballers to suggest sphericity, I'm pointing out how flat they measure Earth for this, with a steelman position given to my audience. Yeah, that's right. I detail quite regularly how ball earthers use flat Earth measurements. That's correct. Yes.
Is the protractor
A new question, no acknowledgement. Yeah, I steelman my opponent's position and their need for flat Earth measurements. That's correct.
The protractor, Nathan.
The globe Earth's use of an azimuthal protractor.
No, the south. The southern.
South's flat. That's a degree from north in the horizontal.
Talk about antipodal plane.
Yeah, that's a flat Earth horizontality, though, when you describe south.
Where is that?
Stutter for
Where is
me!
the antipodal?
Yeah, that's right. So south's flat then. There was a protracted silence after this axiomatic principle of flatness that we're describing. The perpendicularity of the flatness, horizontal, like azimuth and altitude. Kind of like displayed on screen for my audience this entire time.
Yeah, is it Vikings? Is it Vikings thing?
Vikings? No, I'm not a Viking. This isn't Vikings. This is azimuth and altitude. South, you say? That's a flat direction.
Do you know what Viking does?
Do you know what south is? Maybe we could have a little red herring about Vikings.
Flat Earth.
Yeah, flat Earth,
Listen,
that's right.
Vikings divides the diameter of flat Earth by pi to get 3959. And he gave you that diagram, and you have it on your page, on your screen every day. And he took the numbers off it.
He'll get to his
So you
straw
have
man
the flat Earth
eventually. I
measurement.
mean, this would really be effective if it was my equator that he was debunking. It's definitely not. So, ballers, listen up. Edebear's going to debunk your equatorial value.
Flat Earth, you said.
Yeah, we measure it with elevation angles to Polaris. It's the minimum. That's a flat Earth measurement. That's right. We also describe it with south. That's a flat Earth horizontality. That's how it's described. It's not mine.
You used your hand and you pointed upwards and you made a circle, a big circle with your hand.
That's right. I'll do it now. So when the ballers describe their equator, they derive it from a flat Earth minimum elevation angle to Polaris. This is called me steelmanning my opponent's position and how it uses flat Earth measurements. It doesn't mean I now take ownership of the equator, but maybe Edebear needs it to be mine so he can debunk the equator as being incorrect. Oh, well, go ahead. I mean, feel free. Debunk the baller's equator.
Okay, I will. Again, from 33 minutes, when you described the distance from the GP of Polaris to the biggest circle of the equator, you said it was 90 by 91 degree increments of 60 nautical miles or 69 statute miles.
Right, latitude.
Is that 3959, Nathan?
You mean like latitude?
That radius? You
mean
said
like
was the flat
latitude?
Earth?
I'm just confused. Maybe you don't want to confirm this convention that isn't Nathan's.
What's 90 times?
So you mean latitude? Maybe this is a scary question.
Nathan, can you...
Is it latitude or is it Nathan's latitude? Maybe which one are we talking about?
Times 69.
We're talking about
What would that be,
latitude.
Nathan?
Latitude, you mean?
Yeah, 90 times...
Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nathan's latitude that he's debunking. Is it mine?
No, it means that...
No, that's right, you little scrote. Yeah? Not Nathan's latitude. Ballers, you listening? Edebear's absolutely annihilating your garbage that's definitely measured off a flat Earth. Not that it's mine or consequential of how well or effectively Edebear now debunks your concepts derived from flat Earth measurements. They're not mine. They're yours.
From 33 minutes, FED 2573, and you made it very clear. Very, very clear.
What, that these concepts are derived from flat Earth measurements?
Increments of 69 miles from the biggest circle of the equator to the GP of Polaris.
Yeah, that's a flat Earth measurement. That's correct.
69 miles, please, Nathan.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. That's a flat Earth measurement.
What distance is that?
It's a flat Earth measurement, isn't it?
Is 90 times 69.
It's just ignoring me. So what he's doing is beta muting me rather than accepting the facts in the matter. We're describing someone else's measurement of a flat plane to derive this convention that he wants to debunk. He wants to debunk it in my name, though, doesn't he? It's never going to work. Same way your pathetic little cuck compadre Bev attempted the same thing there. It's not mine.
That's the game he plays.
Right, this isn't a game. It's called Latitude. I didn't derive the system. And if you want to burn it, you go ahead. It's just not mine.
Would that be 3959, Nathan?
What, a measurement of a flat plane derived from a radial value extracted with elevation angles off flat surface level? That 3959 flat radii. I mean, according to Buck, that's an arc of a radii. Did you take this up with Buck? Because he suggested that this arced.
No.
No? Oh, it's only me that you want to burn it for? Oh, no, I think you'd need to take this up with Buck. He suggested this radial value, 3959, you are now appealing to. It's not mine, by the way, just so we're all clear. Buck said it arced.
Are you cucking?
Are you stuttering much? Buck said this value arced. What a retard, right? Bev?
Come
on, Bev. It doesn't arc, though. It's a radius, right?
Out somebody.
Are you as stupid as...
gets pressed on something, he always does this game.
A game? We're talking about a 3959 radial value derived from flat Earth elevation angles. Buck said it arced.
Takes it into a conversation about him.
That's summarised while we get a little obfuscation in the Discord between a few cucks that need to talk all at once. Yeah. Right at the beginning, if you were watching from the start of this live stream, Buck suggested that this value, this radial value, nothing to do with the ground, was an arc distance. It's not. It's a flat radial value, 3959, derived from flat Earth elevation angle measurements. For ballers to derive an equatorial plane, a flat plane derived from flat measurements of a flat Earth with flat angles to Polaris, to give us this flat radial value that doesn't arc like liars like Buck suggests they do. Meanwhile, this value's not mine, so burn it all you like.
You see, you fell for
Stuttery little Kirk! Yeah, you want to stutter at me a bit more on behalf of Edibear while you cuck for him? Go ahead,
Sometimes you might
away.
stutter, okay? It's easy to lie and grift, bud. Shut up.
Eat that mic while you stutter at me on behalf of the guy you cuck for.
Yeah, shut up. Elder Bear, what?
Yeah. Just stutter. Yeah.
Audio chaos. All you're causing is audio chaos. Please stop.
Yeah, keep it up. Means you're winning.
I made an argument called the measured flat destructive dichotomy, which addresses exactly what you're saying, Mr. Oakley.
Oh, did you debunk the equatorial plane? Is that what you did? You debunked the equatorial plane, right?
Claims of distance, your claims of a circle of the equator.
I didn't claim a circle of the equator. There he is again, lying about what's mine and what's not. My circle of the equator? Oh, it sounds like you're a scumbag, Edibear, that just needs to continually burn this as a straw man like it's mine.
Nathan, hang on. If someone's...
Oh, is this a new cuck? Oh, devastation detected. New cuck steps up. All right, you jump on the bed, lad. You get on that mattress. Go ahead.
Talking.
Nathan, I'm a moderator here. I'm just saying, if someone's in the middle of speaking, don't start speaking through them. I know you have a YouTube thing going on, but we have a live stream thing going on. You're causing audio chaos for the live stream when you speak through people. And for everyone else who's interrupting people, nobody should be interrupting. Nobody should be chiming into attack. Nobody should be calling people cucks or making rude sexual comments. We can just go back and forth and have a regular discussion. Can we do that?
We can. If two or more people start talking, though, I will refer to them as cucking. That's just how I describe things. If you don't like my language, I mean, I can't help that. But that's what I describe, two or more people piling on top of me while I start describing how the equator's not mine. We've spent about the last 15 minutes with this lying scumbag misrepresenting the equator as being mine. Now I'm hearing another voice. Maybe the moderator's got no power. Maybe the moderator will just allow this, as he's told me specifically that I shouldn't talk through people. Maybe he'll allow these three people to just start talking through me while I describe how I've been misrepresented for about the last 15 straight minutes. Like the equator's mine. Moderator, I'll appeal to you rather than the misrepresenting guy called Edibear. I haven't got an equator. It's not mine.
Finish speaking, so
I'm hearing another cuck. I'm hearing someone else. Is this the moderator being respected? Sounds like you're not very well respected, moderator.
Hello? Just waiting for you to finish speaking. So
well, you could wait, but you started talking instead, so you don't respect the moderator. Now this guy also doesn't respect the moderator. You're not respected. Nobody respects you, moderator.
I don't have an argument, so I just do this all day.
Now a woman's disrespecting you, moderator. So while the moderator, who has absolutely no control over the people he's supposed to be in charge of, like he tried to lay down some authority to me, the people around him have absolutely no respect for him whatsoever. Even the woman in the panel's now disrespecting that moderator, just so we're clear.
Happened on the server. Several times you stopped speaking and I was waiting for you to finish speaking. Then when you finished speaking, I said I was waiting for you to finish speaking, and you started insulting me. Please stop insulting people. Please stop interrupting people. And for anyone else, please stop insulting and interrupting. We don't need the vile sexual comments. We can just have a regular discussion. Nathan, please stop insulting people, especially the moderation when they're trying to help facilitate a healthy discussion.
Okay, thank you very much for your efforts. I really appreciate it. Meanwhile, the guy who's misrepresented me for the last 15 straight minutes keeps ascribing the equator to me so he can debunk it as a straw man.
Nathan, you're hot micing.
I'm talking.
No, he's not hot micing.
He's speaking to his stream. He's not speaking to us.
I'm talking to you, specifically.
I hear him.
You've told me not to disrespect people by calling them cucks as they all pile in and talk through me all at once. Okay, fine. You don't like it. You're a bit of a snowflake. I understand. No problem. I'll try not to offend your delicate ears again. My bad. I apologize.
No, it's not about preferences. It's about not making vile sexual comments.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be done every 5 seconds.
What, when I'm interrupted? Don't interrupt
Let's
me.
get off the meta. Let's get back onto the topic.
Okay.
It's not meta, Dyslow. It's moderation. It's been going on for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
trying to
All right,
apply
well, we
moderation to
moderated.
conversation.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks
Meanwhile,
for
it's not my equator.
moderation,
So can we
Dyslow.
carry on
You're
with the
very
discussion?
helpful right
It's
now.
not my equator. Edebear's misrepresented me for about 20 straight minutes about it being my equator so he can burn it. It's not my equator. Now, I'm just going to lay this out. Hopefully I won't get meta-muted or any delicate snowflake ears offended when I point out that the equator that's derived from flat Earth measurements of elevation angles isn't mine. So when you say it's wrong, I couldn't give a crap. Suggesting that it's mine so you can debunk it when I steelman my opponent's position that requires flat Earth measurements isn't debunking my equator because I don't have one. Earth still measured flat for it, though. Doesn't seem like anybody's got much of a response. So I'll just summarise the situation. Earth's measured flat for the equator.
Well, firstly, I wasn't lying. I was very clear about what I asked you. You did not answer. You have been exposed, Nathan Oakley. And that is very clear to everybody.
Who is this? Elder Bear, Hayuk, East
You don't have
West?
an
Who is it?
answer for why you have 91 degree increments of 69.
He's breaking up. So
miles
1
from
degree
the
is a flat Earth measurement off surface level. That's what 1 degree
equator.
is.
You need a new mic, Edebear.
Yeah, you need a new mic, Edebear. You're breaking up.
The Polaris.
You're breaking up, my friend. So I'll just summarise. 1
That
degree
is a
is a flat
radial
Earth measurement off surface level. I can't help it if
value
this
for
guy's
your
got a bad
circumference.
mic. I mean, maybe the moderation team will step in because he's got a broken
You
mic.
said-
Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just allow him to robot through the top of everybody who's responding to his 1 degree from surface level. It's a flat measurement. When he describes 1 degree, flat Earth measurement. Earth's measured flat with that degree. 1 degree is flat.
Fine. You cannot answer. You have been exposed, Nathan Oakley. You are not the subject matter expert.
Your mic was off,
You
Edebear. Nobody heard a word you
Your
said.
mic's not working very well.
Idle. Oh, I had a bad
Your mic's
internet
broken.
signal.
Get a better
I don't
mic.
know whether you heard me. I said I was very clear about what I asked you.
No, you
And
weren't.
you're
Your mic was
exposed
broken.
because you cannot answer
You're
it.
not
Stop
clear.
talking
You get
over
a
me.
better mic.
Don't talk over me. Don't rumpus me and give me the old beta mute, please. I asked
We
you.
didn't hear you.
You said that you have
mic.
a
Can't
1
really
degree
hear you,
angle
Edebear.
to
Your mic's a bit
Polaris gives
broken.
you 69
Your mic's
nautical
broken. I
miles
think your mic's
per
broken.
degree. 91 degree increments of 69 miles equals what number? That would be the radius for your equator that you described as the biggest circle on flat Earth from 33 minutes on FED 2573 yesterday.
You asked him a question and you kept talking, Elder Bear. What the heck?
I'll just answer him. Okay, I'll answer. It's not my equator. If I gave the impression incorrectly that it's Nathan Oakley's equator, I will put my hand on my heart and say, for all of those who have been affected by this, I am truly sorry. If anybody was under the misapprehension that it's Nathan Oakley's equator, I relinquish all responsibility for this globe Earth inferring flat Earth measurement derived value. It's not mine, and if I gave that impression, I am truly, truly sorry.
You have a heart? What a
Do you
guy.
have the radial value then, please? The radial value for your big circle?
Right, a radial value for the globe Earth circle is a flat measurement of a radial value in miles, so it's a linear
for the
distance
flat Earth
measurement.
that you
Is it
described
just me, or am I
yesterday.
being beta muted? Maybe the moderator will tell me off after this.
For the flat Earth, you
I am still in the middle of the same
described
sentence,
yesterday, what is the
moderator.
radial
Maybe we
value
should talk at the same time while
from the
I answer him.
equator to
Maybe I
the
should talk at the
Polaris?
same time as him. Maybe I'll get told off for this. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe if I use the word cuck, I'll get told off for that.
Why don't you just go?
That's not a sexual
I'm just waiting. Dice, go
word.
ahead, moderate. You said you wanted to moderate. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just go ahead and moderate, my friend.
Come on, give us some numbers. Give us some numbers.
I'm still hearing Edibear.
That you described.
I'm still hearing him.
You want some
Obviously, the
totals?
moderator's not respected.
Yep,
He's not going to
good.
listen to the moderator. He's just going to do what he likes. He just doesn't respect the moderator.
Yeah, because they let them do what they want all the time.
Yeah, tell me off.
The moderators keep.
Meanwhile, Earth's
in with
measured
three
flat for
different
this
freaking-
convention, for this system, for this area of equal elevation, for this altitude angle, for this equatorial value. That's a flat Earth measurement. It's just not my flat Earth measurement.
Nathan, you have to have Discord audio on so you can hear what we're saying. There's just a miscommunication with the moderation. I thought someone else wanted to moderate the discussion.
So nobody asked.
Same as the bear's mic.
I don't need it. I don't care. Every time somebody cucks through the top of me with three guys all at once, I'll just point that out to an audience. You can bleat and say that you're a snowflake and you don't like me using the word cuck as three men all jump in on top. I don't care if you like that language. The fact is, I haven't got
It's
an
not
equatorial value.
about
It
the
is measured
language,
flat.
Nathan.
Now
One day.
what is this the moderator talking through me now?
Yeah, because you're
Got a calculator?
Stop doing that.
That Edibear guy's got absolutely no respect for you, moderator.
Stop misrepresenting what I said. I was asking you to stop insulting people, and I was asking people to stop
heard you.
interrupting people, including you. That doesn't mean I'm a snowflake. I'm just asking you to stop doing that.
Okay, you can ask, and I can just completely ignore you. You can then, if you
It's
choose to,
part of
decide
the
that you don't
rules
want me
of the
here. I mean,
server.
that's your prerogative. You say, I don't want you here because you use the word cuck when men pile on top of me. I don't care what you want. You can ask me to not use that word. I will do exactly as I please. And if you say, well, I don't want you in here anymore, as the moderator, you can kick the main event out of the room and everyone will start talking to you. That's fine. You can do that. I can tell you that I will use whatever language I see fit, regardless of you asking me. Thank you for your request. It's been denied. Feel free to kick me out of your server because you don't like me calling people cucks. You can do that if you want to. It won't change what language I use. It won't change that I'm still in the middle of talking and you're now projecting that interruption that you don't want people to do. You're now interrupting me while I tell you that your request's denied because you want to overtly state your power, like you've got power over me. You don't. You don't have any power over
Nathan,
me.
it's not my request. You're in a server with server guidelines.
Right, and I've said you can kick me out if you don't like me using the word cuck to describe people interrupting me because you're ineptitude when it comes to moderation.
I'm inept.
Yeah, you're not moderating people as they cuck.
I'm just all right. You're getting server muted. Then you can't come in a server and just insult
So you're going to
me.
mute me? No worries. So while I get server moderated because I've described people piling on me all at once as being cucks, that means I need to be server moderated. So this guy's going to be whose hero? I wonder who's going to praise this guy for this.
Why is that
occurring.
so difficult?
And he's a flat
I'm
earther.
just trying to facilitate a healthy discussion. I'm the reason why there isn't 5 people interrupting you. Like
It's the
I'm
worst
just trying to make
word
the
I've ever
discussion
heard
healthy.
on this channel in my
It isn't
life.
healthy at all. It's been an hour and a half of complete audio chaos. I'm gonna unmute you now. Please stop insulting people and definitely don't insult moderation when they're trying to help.
Okay.
You're the only one causing audio chaos.
No, I respect you as a
It's
moderator.
audio
Thank you very
chaos
much.
when
His
Guys, and keep
contract
shush.
now. He's
Thank you very much.
He's finished his contract. He's been paid for what he's done, and so now he can let loose and start swearing because he's fulfilled his contract to Len for his £100 today.
We don't need to attack people back or make comments about people back. We just have a discussion about what you guys were talking about.
What, like radial values? Yeah, radial values are flat Earth measurements.
Then what's going on?
Yeah, radial values.
If
are
I
flat
had it
Earth
my
measurements.
way, we would start off with the map, all these words, equator and all these things. I'd start off with the map. It's not just enough to say this isn't even against
Mile
flat
scale,
Earth.
you say?
We're talking about flat Earth. There's different setups of flat Earth. The equators are not all the same. The distances are not all the same. There's different setups of flat Earth. If I had it my way, we would literally start off be like, this is my most preferred one. Not to destroy flat Earth, but to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. We'd start by measuring things like a system called latitude, maybe.
Yeah, but we don't get my way. We get your way, Nathan. Carry on, mate.
Latitude's not mine.
It was Frank Sinatra's, wasn't it?
No. Latitude's just a flat Earth measurement of Polaris.
Frank Sinatra did do it his way, though.
Meanwhile, Earth's measured flat with the system.
What happened to that video you had on your channel that had
I'm
all
just
the
explaining
dildos
to
in
me.
your
Maybe the
apartment?
moderator will
You
allow
were
this.
fucking
I'm responding. I heard.
Jake, we're not gonna do that. Stop. Why would
Earth's
you...
measured flat
We're not
for
doing
latitude. Latitude's not my system, but it is appealed to by globe believers. They suggest that the surface is the degree markings of the flat Earth measurement on the surface of a glorified protractor. They think they're on. Now, to measure those degrees on the ball, you need to measure it in a protractor from a plane. That's what latitude measurements are. Flat Earth measurements. Simple. I'm not hearing any response. So, in conclusion, Earth's measured flat. Latitude is an example. Elevation angles, as depicted on screen for my audience, are the measurements from the surface level to the star called Polaris, with a flat baseline and a line up to the star that forms the degrees of latitude from a plane. That's how it's measured. Earth's measured flat for your system. Me steel manning this position will definitely get muted, though. It'll get beta muted. Maybe I'll be told off for calling him a beta in a minute as he mutes me. We're measuring Earth flat for their system. There's the same interruption. Total lack of respect for the moderator who piped up and made a whole speech that was completely ignored by this beta that's now cucking. I'll try again. So, to develop this system...
You keep using cocking. I'm not interested. Is that a new word you'd learned?
I have actually a question, man. Can I get a real question in? Or actually, I want to.
Yeah, you love keep repeating that word. I know you love with cocking.
I'll just say who goes. We'll go one at a time. Fine, then Rob, you can go, and then Nathan, you can go next. Go ahead, Rob.
I appreciate it. Real quick, we've all seen a show. We've all heard Nathan and all the other guys say that if an airplane is flying on the globe, it must be accounting for curvature as it goes around the globe. If you want to say that about the globe model, then I'm asking you, if I had 45 degrees east or west, why is my plane? Please let me finish. Why is my plane? Why is my plane not always turning in a circle? Because on your model, east and west is a circle. It's not a straight line. So there is no straight lines even in your model. I digress.
Okay. I mean, in response, planes measure their altitude from sea level. They fly over mountains that have been measured from sea level, with altitudes perpendicular to sea level, in flight levels parallel with the surface level. Everything about a plane and its navigation systems, its altitude acquisition, even when you lose all instrumentation, this is just me, or I'm hearing people talk through me. Even when you measure the systems for navigation for a plane, they're all using flat Earth principles of areas of equal elevation and flat radii also. We discussed them earlier. Earth's measured flat in everything.
I listen, can I reply now? None of what you said addressed anything about my point. My point is, if I'm on a plane and I'm going 45 degrees east or west, why is my plane not constantly in a right or left hand turn, supposedly? Just as if you guys say our plane must go over the curve, it has to account for curve. Well, you guys have to account for going in a circle, because you can't go in a straight line on a flat Earth. You end up at the ice wall or wherever the fuck you guys end up. I digress.
That wasn't a question.
When you go in a flat Earth direction, is that what you want to know?
You can call it whatever you want, Neil. If I had 45 degrees in a flat Earth direction, okay, and I stay on that fucking latitude, okay, and I just keep going in a flat Earth direction.
Stay on that flat Earth. Go ahead.
I'm almost done. That flat Earth direction would cause my plane. I have to make a circle because it's a circle. We know that 45 degrees goes all the way to England. It goes to North America. It goes across to Asia. England? So we know 45 degrees really is a place that you can travel upon. So I'm saying on a flat Earth model, the plane would have to be in a constant turning with going around the circle.
Hey Rob, what altitude's that plane at, mate, from sea level?
It's irrelevant. I don't care if it's 5 feet or 5 million feet, dude.
That's irrelevant.
You're avoiding. Irrelevant, yeah, because you're avoiding the question. My question was this: is the plane turning or not turning as it's going
You're
along
using
45
all
degrees
flat Earth
latitude?
measurements and asking us
Okay,
how we
cool.
would work on
Let's
a
say
flat
I
Earth
am.
model.
Again,
That's real
see,
smart,
this is why I
Rob.
get. I know it is real smart because I got you guys by the balls. That's why it takes 3 of you now. Now
No,
you're notice how I
using
use the
flat
C
Earth
word. Notice
measurements
how I'm
for
not using the
everything,
C word.
and then
This is
saying,
where
how's it
obnoxious to
flat?
call these guys the C word, right? But I wouldn't because I was asked not to. See, that's how it works. See how easy it is? These guys are. You guys are literally in frogs in hot water, and the water's getting hotter. You don't even realize you're being boiled. There's nothing you can say about it. A straight line on a flat Earth direction, whatever you want to call it, can't be straight in anything. Because if I go from 45 degrees north, which is where I'm at basically in America, and I go to 45 degrees in Europe, that's not a straight line because, oh, look at 45 degrees goes all the way around the whole wheel or the flat surface. So it's not a straight line. So you have to account for the curvature, right? Or I'm sorry, the circulature. You have to account for the plane turning. One big circle, like one big loop-de-loop in a plane around the world.
You done? Have you finished?
I digress.
Right, if I can just get the G Plus to shut up for a minute. So you say 45 degrees north. Need an affirmation that that's what you're asking about.
Yeah, I just pick one that's close to me that everybody knows. 45 degrees latitude. It goes around the whole planet.
A couple of things then. Can we just establish that this isn't mine then? Given that you're the one appealing to it. I hadn't quite
absolutely.
Finished. I hadn't quite finished. I hadn't quite finished.
Oh, sorry.
I did let you finish, didn't I?
Yes, you did, sorry. I apologize.
Okay. So there's been some misunderstanding consistently since I've been here that somehow this latitude measurement, that's 45 degrees, isn't mine. Can we just establish this so I don't get strawmanned with it again? Is that okay?
I never thought it was.
Okay, jolly good. So just so we're clear, so the old discussion that took 15 minutes and ended in me being told off by the moderator team isn't mine. This isn't my system that I was being strawman with earlier, just so that's drawn a conclusion to. So just so we can conclude, I haven't quite finished. Just establishing between you and I that the previous guy talking to me, Ed Bear, who tried to strawman me with this being mine for about 20 straight minutes, was just a scumbag, disingenuous, lying wanker. Because he strawmanned me with it for about... I still haven't finished. For about 20 straight minutes.
I protest. Could you prove that, please?
Yeah, you called it mine repeatedly.
He's trying to change the subject because he can't answer my question.
No, I can get to you eventually, but we just need to establish that
now
we've got two men talking. You can call it two men talking. Now we're back to the strawman me for 20 straight minutes. It's not Nathan's latitude system that I'm being asked about. It's just when I start addressing it,
no one says it is.
And now I'm being talked through. Moderator, they don't respect you at all, just so we're clear. I'll just try again. We did listen to Rob Noxious waffle on for about 2 or 3 straight minutes without interruption, just so we're clear. Now we've got 2 men addressing me while I try for the 3rd time to answer this. Yeah? I've been strawmanned. I find it egregious. Yeah, when somebody suggests that this is Nathan's latitude system, the degrees off a flat Earth we measure to give us the 45-degree angle from a flat plane for you to describe this with. That's a flat Earth measurement that you're asking me about. Now, there was a couple of people in the G Plus panel, admittedly, that felt the need compelled while you were talking, because they did interrupt you, I will grant you that you were using flat Earth measurements to ask about how flat it was. Now, I'm reiterating.
Flat Earth doesn't have a claim.
It's the 3rd guy, moderator, they don't respect you.
Nathan, you're saying flat Earth measurement and you're using this coordinate system.
I heard Rob uninterrupted. Now we're hearing this guy, just so the moderator is demonstrated inept. He asked me why I'd moan at him. Ineptitude was my answer. This is a demonstration of it while this guy cucks through the top of me. I will use the word cuck, by the way.
No,
maybe you can feel free to remove it.
Okay,
while this guy continually cucks,
how do you want it, Nathan?
Mutes me through the top of me.
How do you want it?
The moderator won't do anything.
Who do you
He'll
want to
moan at me and tell me how we take it in turns, maybe. Maybe he'll do something about it, maybe he won't. Maybe I'll never get to the end of this.
Let him move forward. He did give a measurement.
Now, I've got 3 men talking and the moderator. 3 men and the mod. 4.
Come on now, what's going on?
You got a grip, moderator? You got a grip yet? Okay, I'll try again.
I'm not a moderator, bro.
I'll try again for the 5th time while we hear several cucks cuck. Okay? So when it comes to the point that I explain how Rob's question about his claim, about his 45 degrees he's using are demonstrated to be flat Earth measurements. I just want it to be clear that me steel-manning his position isn't going to be acceptable for a wanker, that's Edabear, to then suggest that it's mine. It's definitely not mine. We're establishing now that it's Rob's. While I get muted, I cut by 3 cuts simultaneously. 3 of them that disrespect this moderator. The moderator that I also have very limited respect for because he's not taking charge while he tells me off about taking turns. I can hear lots of voices. It's the 5th attempt at this exact sentence. We spent 20 straight minutes with me being told how these degree measurements being appealed to by Global Rob were mine, as Edabear tried to burn them as a straw man like they're Nathan's. They're not. I will conclude how these flat Earth acquired elevation angle measurements from surface level aren't mine. They are definitely flat Earth measurements, though, just so we're absolutely clear. Rob's asking me about how these flat Earth measurements, 45 degrees from a flat plane, work on a flat Earth. So, in conclusion, this is a stupid question, because you're asking me about how flat Earth measured angles off a flat Earth work on a flat Earth. That's silly, Rob. Okay?
Can I reply? I waited. I tried to. Okay, Neil. So I'll say this. Thank you for not answering my question in any way, shape, or form. Again, not one person said that any of this stuff is yours. What we are saying from our side is...
I'm just going to interrupt him. Lying bastard. Edabear did it for 20 straight minutes. Now he's just lying.
Hey, I'm not Elderbear. I'm saying no, he didn't.
Yeah, I didn't say you were. I said I was straw man for 20 straight minutes. I absolutely was. Now you've said nobody said that. That's a lie. Edabear did it for 20 straight minutes. You're a liar.
To be Rob, I mean,
okay.
What can you do about it?
Well, I can do a lot. I'm Rob Noxious, but I can't really do it because I'll get muted. But I don't want to do that. I want to expose this guy.
You want to stutter and lie about me and say no one's done that. Yeah, Edabear did it for 20 straight minutes.
Dude.
So you want to expose you by using flat Earth measurements? Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Rob, the flat Earth measurement for the 45 degrees is 3,105 miles.
I know.
From 45 degree latitude to Polaris.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. Like, and his logic states that our little plane flying upon the face of the globe, is ridiculous because the plane would have to nose down 1 degree or something. You're going so fast. But in his world, a straight line, which he says that all lines are straight, they go on straight, they don't curve, they don't do anything. But in his model, if I'm flying a plane from California to Japan on a flat Earth map or a model, there's nothing you can do but curve because the flight path shows the curve. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is absurd.
Keep turning right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole
That's
plane
why they
ride,
have. If they had. Yeah, but Rob, if they had your angle data in the NTSB data, you'd be able to see the plane turning continually right or left, depending whether it's going east or west. Now,
absolutely, that's my whole point.
Right and left.
They can't claim it from the end.
They're perpendicular to a
line
plane.
on the graph is time, and they're talking about in pressure from 0.
Well,
yeah, so
Nathan,
east
you
and west,
put an end to these
left and right, they are perpendicular descriptions from a plane.
That will be represented on the graph as a straight line. It won't be a curve,
I hear you, but,
so they can't prove anything in the data.
What's the graph?
Because a straight line does not it represents 0. Whose 0 does it represent?
You take over, I guess. Go ahead.
East and west are flat Earth measurements. Left and right are perpendicular to a plane. Also, descriptions in the horizontal.
Circles.
Me or am I being chat skanked through? Yes, of course I am. Yeah, Edabear's cooking for Rob. There's 2 men doing the job of one.
Parallel.
And this is just me. Now we're hearing Rob. I had 2 men put 2 things to me. I was told we take it in turns. Why did the moderator even speak? Because he's demonstrating his own ineptitude. He's just let 2 men talk at me. 2 men.
Because he's a pussy.
He needs to interrupt so his audience don't hear our arguments.
It's been almost 2.
I heard the arguments. The arguments were utilising east, west, and left and right. They're all planar descriptions. This is the 3rd time I've said it, but what's happening is I'm being muted in the server. Now, when I describe this to my audience, there'll be some criticism that I'm being heard. Yeah, because they need to shut it down and mute it.
It's fucking boring.
No, just that we won't be heard.
Yeah, you won't be heard, what, muting me while I describe how you describe left and right? That's with respect to a plane. Left and right are directionalities with respect to a plane. East and west also planar. They're horizontal degrees and azimuth.
They're scared. scared to ask him.
I'm being told I'm scared. I'm describing how their descriptions, Edibear's specifically, left, right, planar, east, west, planar. These are flat measurements. Response, chat skank through the top of me in the Discord server, tell me that I'm scared. He's just talking constantly. The moderator's not being respected, is he? While I explain how he's used left and right and east and west.
East and west is a circle on flat Earth.
Moderator, he doesn't respect you. He disrespects you. Tell me that we need to take it.
That's where you get the angle.
Mod, tell me that we tell me.
Moderators like that isn't
Yeah,
gonna
Mod, I'll just shut them down. I can do that for my audience while they decide that they need to mute this devastating fact. Left, right, planar. East, west, planar. They're using planar descriptions. That's what they're doing.
The equator. That equals
It's just chat skanking straight
6,210
through the top of me.
miles.
I'm not being heard, moderator. Moderator, what's the point? What's the point, moderator? What's the point, moderator? You useless moderator. This is, you're allowing this, moderator. Do you want to tell me to take it in turns? Moderator, tell me that I should take it in turns, moderator. Moderator, just let him talk constantly. Moderator, moderator. Hello, moderator. Moderator, you've got audio chaos. Moderator.
Elder, this isn't helping anybody.
No, you're damn right it's not. What it will do is mute the fact that he's used planar descriptions. If he just talks incessantly, maybe he'll moan that I can take control of my show and tell the audience how he's used flat earth measurements. He just won't have to respond to them if he keeps talking straight to the top of me incessantly. And the moderator does nothing.
No, it's not.
Then the Discord server will hear two cucks. This is two cucks. Yeah? We take it in turns here. No, we don't. These men will all fuck at the same time. That's what cucks do.
Give us the radial value.
Now, I'm just hearing Edibear non-stop while I describe left and right being planar, east and west being planar. I'll be told that I'm scared in a minute because they haven't heard me.
I'm not going to give you anything,
now he's
bro.
talking
No, you
about
won't give me
radial
anything.
values.
You did. You gave me east, west, left, right, and I'm using them flat because that's what they are. See? Zero response. Earth's flat. That's how it's being described. Earth's flat. So when we get an east or west or a left or a right, those are planar descriptions of directionality. They're flat. So if you say the plane turns left, yeah, that's a flat direction that it's turning. If you say it's turning west, yeah, that's a flat Earth horizontal orientation from north. These are flat descriptions you're using. Now, a point earlier, it didn't really get concluded, was that when you guys describe these flat axioms and I point out how flat they are, they suddenly pushed onto me like they're my burden to justify. Like suddenly the equator's a value that I've got to justify. It isn't. Simple. Any more for any more?
Little update so far. I've been here 10 minutes and you've chanted your mantra 20 times.
You're
Stop using flat Earth measurements to prove your globe.
Oh, I love how you trained your harem to chant your mantra too.
No, here comes the add-on.
Is it just me, or have I been told that we're not allowed to use sexual innuendos? Now we've got this neckbeard dweeb telling me that I've got a harem. I don't hear the moderator telling the neckbeard off, though, do I? I don't hear the neckbeard.
I have a quick question for you, Nathan.
Now we got a new cuck asking new question. Neckbeard's just accused me of having a harem. It's a standard for me, but not a standard for the ballers. Neckbeard comes and accuses me of having a harem. Not a single word from the snowflake moderator, just so the audience understands what the situation is. I'm not allowed to describe them as cucking. He is allowed to describe me as having a harem.
It's more likely that you are the top one than me.
I'm just hearing the neckbeard.
I have a question. When you say flat, do you mean no change in the vertical datum of elevation?
So we're going to respond to the neckbeard or you? Which one of you two cucks do you want me to respond to?
No, respond to me.
All right, you're a neckbeard.
I said to yes, right?
My name is Max, and you know, funny.
You're a neckbeard. I have seen you. You look like a dweeb. You sound like you look.
Yeah, that's because I'm.
Yes, it's because you're a neckbeard. You're a neckbeard dweeb. That is what you are. You talk about harem. Neckbeard.
I'm bilingual.
I stutter like a neckbeard dweeb who is being annihilated. I say you chant a mantra. Yeah, you talked about harem. You talked about a mantra. I talked about left and right that were appealed to by Edibear. They're flat Earth orientations. East and west are the same.
Is that what you mean by flat?
What, like azimuth?
Yeah, like when we're talking, like when you say the Earth is flat, are you saying there's no measurable change of Earth in the vertical datum in the elevation profile?
So when you describe a vertical change That's a deviation from the horizontal, though. So in order to describe vertical topographical deviations, you first have to make a measurement of Earth. That's a horizontal distance measurement.
Awesome. So then when you're saying flat, you're not saying like the Earth is literally like there's no change in elevation on the vertical datum, right?
No, I've just answered you. Why male models much? When you ask, is there any deviation in the vertical? Yeah, we've got hills and valleys and mountains. They're all measured with respect to a flat plane at sea level. The vertical deviation is with respect to the measured flat Earth miles that are horizontal. Second time.
Okay, well, the definition of flat means no change in elevation on the vertical datum.
Yeah, that's correct. So when you measure miles of Earth as the crow flies, there is no deviation in the vertical. To measure deviation in the vertical, that's hills and mountains, you first establish horizontal distance without deviation. That's why we have a datum. It's called sea level.
Awesome. So since you agree that flat means that there is no change in elevation in the vertical datum, then you can't put that word in front of Earth because the Earth does have vertical change in the.
What a fucking idiot!
I can describe how we measure Earth with distance. Distance has no change in the vertical. When we measure a distance, survey a distance, that's Earth being measured flat for the distance. To describe the topographical deviations, Earth is measured flat in horizontal linear distance. Yes, Earth is measured flat for distance, as the crow flies, as surveyed in a linear distance. I can absolutely say Earth is measured flat at sea level.
Awesome. Do you agree that perfect horizontal plane is something you're measuring to that's in your head and not actually in reality?
No, it's in reality. It's called mean sea level. They measure it.
There's tides. So
yeah, that's why we measure
not a perfect horizontal.
That's why
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, so we measure it.
Oh, that's an average. Mean sea level is an average between the tides, sir. So you don't have an actual horizontal plane anywhere except in your mind.
No, we describe all of the deviations in the vertical for things like mountains from sea level. All altitudes are measured with respect to this planar, linear, flat, perfectly flat, like absolutely no deviation whatsoever from mean sea level. A concept that we do measure to average, because yeah, we've got tides. But if there's any curve to Earth, the curve of Earth, that's hills, is measured from that mean sea level as an average. Am I being beta muted? Server.
Yeah, you're measuring to
Yeah, I'm being beta muted. That's no problem. I can deal with that. If you're going to beta mute me describing mean sea level as the topographical average that we use to get vertical deviations from, you could just beta mute me. That is one option. But we do measure Earth perfectly flat with altitudes all described from that average mean sea level. All altitudes are with respect to that flat plane we do use for Earth measurements.
Hey, Oakley, Oakley, do you have a citation?
When I hear lots of cucks all at once, I'm going to call them cucks when I hear them all at once. Yes, I will call you cucks.
To deviate more than 8 inches per mile squared.
So we need a per mile then. So the per mile is a flat linear mile measurement then. So we do definitely need flat measurements of miles. Am I being beta cuck muted? Yes, I am. Definitely being beta cuck muted. Moderator, this man does not respect you. Moderator, the man doesn't respect you. He's just talking through me. He's just talking through my answer, moderator. We can still hear this cuck who doesn't respect you.
I'm the moderator. What do you need? What do you need? I'm the moderator.
For you to shut up.
Talk at the same time. This conversation can happen quicker. And we can discuss more.
No, Tora hasn't had a chance to speak. And Nathan, you're just talking to one person.
Three men all at once. Do we have a fourth
I've got to remind you that this is Discord, right? So, it's obvious, right? It's Discord.
All right, thanks. Can Tora speak now, please?
Yeah, good talk. Meanwhile, Earth's measured flat from sea level. Any vertical deviations are with respect to the horizontal measurement we use as a datum, as a 0 point. That's sea level. That's how Earth's measured flat. Am I in here a neckbeard?
Nathan,
Fourth man that disrespects the moderator.
Last week how sea level is a plane. You still haven't answered that. So can you give a citation for sea level as a plane?
It's a horizontal reference that we use for all measurements in the vertical. It's the 0 point. That's a plane.
Incorrect. Give me a citation for that, please.
Don't need to cite it. I'm describing how every measurement of every altitude ever is with respect to that 0 point, that datum. That's a horizontal plane of reference to describe vertical deviation.
keep saying that.
Being beta muted. This is terrifying. Obviously, this is terrifying. Obviously, this needs muting. Yeah, getting told that I'm chanting a mantra. No, I'm describing the horizontal plane of reference that is sea level. If it wasn't a plane, we couldn't describe it as a 0 to have all the vertical changes described with respect to it. That's what it is.
No,
I need to cite
sea level's a plane. Go ahead. It's like,
yeah, sea level's a plane. That's what we're describing all altitudes with respect to.
You say that. Now.
Yeah, I say it because that's how we measure it. That's right. I'm not just saying it. We do measure altitudes from sea level.
Okay, now say that.
Okay, so that's the end of the discussion. We measure Earth as a plane with a 0 to describe all altitudes from.
No citation.
Don't need one. Altitude, any altitude, always references that plane of reference. Sea level.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Incorrect.
What
You
do we
keep
measure
saying
the
that
altitudes
without
from?
any
then?
evidence.
Okay, what do we measure altitudes from?
We can measure it from sea level. We can measure it from the.
Yeah, we do. It's not that we can. We do. We measure Earth from this plane of reference we call sea level.
Earth's a plane.
Citation,
Yeah, that's
please.
right. Earth's a
dipshit.
plane. Yeah, that's how we're measuring
exactly.
vertical deviation.
I am the citation.
Yeah, show us the citation, Wesley.
Lots of cucks.
I'm asking for the citation, Arwen.
No,
Go
yeah,
away.
but why did you give your citation?
Of what? I didn't make a claim.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, really?
Yeah, you did.
You're negating his
shows a picture of you in the center of Earth.
Well, this is a fun bunch of cucks, so I'm going to round out this live show. You can continue to listen if you want to on the after show. But if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering Streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So another massive thank you to all of you who liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined us in Nathan Oakley 1980 Super Chat from Adam Price, or no, Price of Adam. Why do Globers have to act dumb? Thank you very much, Price of Adam, for the super chat. Once again, stay tuned if you are watching on an after show. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
Millimeter, it be accurately measured. It's measured flat, direction up and down. Flat level we at, flight over ground. Descending from that breeze, heading in degrees. Horizontal, flat, ESC. Now you know it's flat below ground. Measured flat.